Welcome back, Keepers and Keepers of the Fire. In this episode, our guest is the amazingly talented Elizabeth Grullón.
She's a first-generation American. She's an actress. She's a singer. She's a writer. She's a filmmaker. And during the episode, we talk about her experience living in a blue-collar immigrant family, her Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order audition process, and some of the other ways she expresses herself and shines her light as an artist. We also get into motherhood, as she is pregnant during the episode, so we talk a little bit about pregnancy as well.
She's an incredible singer, too. Like, she has an amazing song that we'll reference in the podcast, but, like, just when you think, like, someone, like, couldn't have another trick up their sleeve, like, you hear her just, like, belt it. She is, I think, one of the coolest people I've ever met. Like, there's just something about her, like, the way she carries herself, her presence.
It really is interesting how many people the Force brings together. I'm so honored that Elizabeth Grullón graced us with her powerful presence on the podcast, and I think you guys are all going to have a great time listening to me ramble during the intro every fucking time, because you know what? I'm allowed to do that because I earned it, because I worked hard all my life. And people always thought, you're never going to make it. And I fucking made it. I fucking made it to the point where I could say whatever I fucking want in the intro. I don't give a fuck about a time limit or a script or a And even though she's on the dark side of the Force, it was such a pleasure to have her on an episode of the podcast. So please enjoy episode 8.
Dude, it's so funny if you actually like keep that, like you freaking out. So, like, as if she was.
Shall we begin the ritual?
We may as well, because we're already just chatting away.
Journey, would you like to start or should I?
I can start.
You got it.
Forgot my now. I need to read.
And then about the mics, you always want it as close as you can be, you know?
Yeah, I kind of like talking like
Yeah,
I'm
fantastic.
on.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. You feel.
Yeah, I want to keep the vibe really sexy and chill.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, during the podcast, I speak like this.
Yes,
You'll notice as we
Your
start.
voice
We
is good.
speak in our
normally
natural
change.
voices.
Thank you so much for warning
But
me.
yeah, it would have been I always forget to warn everybody,
I
and
would've
they always
been
have when we have to delete all the reactions.
surprised.
Everyone
Yeah.
being like, "What are you doing?" I'm like,
What do you do?
"Welcome back, everybody."
You mean this
Keepers
audio
of the
butter?
Fire. What do you mean? What am I doing? I'm keeping a fire. Yeah, did you see it? Roaring.
All good? Yep. Okay, here
Rocking and rolling. Okay. What I was telling Iman earlier, but today's the first time since we've ever done this ritual that I thought of what I was gonna call in and let go beforehand. So this hit me earlier today. The thing that I would like to let go this beautiful evening is forever thinking. And what I mean by that, like what made me think of it was I messed up my lower back. It's been a minute since we've, done one of these. We took like a little break, since we shot one of these. And I messed up my lower back in that time, and like I haven't been able to work out, which I was like really like enjoying this like upward climb of like momentum, And there's been moments where I felt like my brain literally convinces me that I'm like, this is my new life. Like I'm just gonna be injured back Journey now.
Wow.
They're probably gonna call me that, like at Starbucks,
Journey.
Oh, no.
3 egg bites for injured back. You know what I mean? I was like, this is me now. And it just dawned on me how crazy that was. I was like, no, it's not gonna be me forever. In a couple of weeks, I'm gonna be a spring chicken again.
Yeah.
And so I just caught myself in that, like cognitive fallacy of processing things. I'm gonna let that go.
Yeah, that's amazing to let go.
Which one was it?
I love that. I love doing this because whatever. Wow, the flame like came open. Came alive.
I missed
From
it.
the
I was
paper?
looking at you. Oh, no.
You just saw me go.
That was a beautiful reaction. A miracle took place.
Do you want to let us know what you're letting go?
Sure. So I wrote down playing small and holding back, which I think is a theme for me, probably will be a theme going through this year, and I don't think it's a bad thing, but for the past year, I've been a lot more private, a lot more cocooning, and I've been growing a lot and just keeping it to myself, which is actually can be very sacred to grow in the dark. And now it's time to share and just share more of myself. So yeah, that's what I'm and tonight really is a step in that direction, because here we are
Yeah.
Beautiful.
sharing our voices and our energies
Right.
with the beautiful audience, and that's the vibe, playing small and holding back.
That's amazing.
I love that. This very podcast appearance is an example of you committing to the thing you're letting go of.
Okay, I don't know if I can do this.
You want help?
Yeah, could you just give me like a spot?
Yes.
That's awesome. Let me know if you need help. Just say something. I'll get you.
Thank you.
You blow it out your
You're
hand.
under it so it floats into the fire.
That'd be perfect.
And make it into a paper plane.
Can you fold it up into a little paper
And
plane
then you just toss it.
and make sounds of a plane and throw it in a
That'd be a cool way to do it. If you
Wait,
could
yeah,
fold
why
this
have we
into a
never thought
paper
of that?
plane
That's
and
so
just
good.
throw it from here. That'd be
That's
so
a
sick. Just
great
pull it off.
idea.
flies. Catches fire, keeps flying.
Yeah.
Get it.
What are you letting go?
So what I'm letting go of. This is a big one, and I'm so grateful for it. And it goes back to something we were saying before we got started, Elizabeth, that when you clear out all that, like, need to contextualize what you're doing is for this reason or for that reason, and it works for this group or demographic, or I am myself in this way around these people or that people, or whatever the boxing is of your energy, like whatever the containing and molding is. I'm letting go of caring about anything over the vibration that you feel when you're doing a certain thing, when you are in a certain place. It's like, okay, how do I feel on my way to this thing?
Yeah.
Am I excited to do this thing? What is the energetic like receiving that I'm getting, you
Yeah,
know?
how
And
does it
then while
feel?
I'm in the space, taking stock and being like, okay, what would raise my energy? Or am I in a really great place? Is this a good feeling energy to be in? Am I around people who uplift me and I feel good around them? Am I around people who I feel good uplifting, you know? Am I doing things that are serving me energetically as opposed to like logically or consciously? Oh, I should do this, I should do that. And it's like, I've had times where I'm doing those things and I don't feel good doing them. And I'm like, well, I guess this must not be the thing to do right now, because vibration, I've learned, is the key to everything. The way you feel on a day-to-day basis, moment to moment, will dictate the reality you exist in.
Right.
So caring about anything above vibration is what I'm letting go of.
Right. It's like trusting that intuition rather than what you should do, quote unquote. Going with your heart rather than the rational mind.
Quiet
Beautiful.
applause for that. Also, ditto.
Yeah.
That's actually, I'm letting go of that too.
Yeah.
Can you get my thing out so I can just edit?
We get a new piece of paper. Write that down too.
Thank
We can
you.
get it. If you want yours back, we can get that too. We can get that too.
Let's take it from the top.
Okay.
But truly, I really am. I've been thinking so much about that. And it's something that I think starts to naturally happen after years and years of practice.
Yeah.
Of, you know, meditation or mindfulness or
Yep.
spiritual practice or whatever it is that you do to help bring more of yourself kind of forward into your life in an authentic way. And with this experience of bringing a new life into the world, it's happening so effortlessly. It's like, oh no, I just vibrate away. I just and it's I don't have to have an explanation for it or a judgment towards the thing I'm vibrating away from,
Right.
even. But just it's natural.
So like becoming pregnant has made you more in tune with yourself and
Oh
more
yeah,
kind of like aware of like what's right for you.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
It makes sense. It'd be like a very like, grounding experience, like to your body.
Yeah, and just like less resistant about whatever those cues are. So
Yeah.
instead of feeling guilty because
Yeah.
oh well, this person is a nice person, but I just don't really like being around them, or feeling like there has to be a judgment around why. You know, it's just
Yeah.
it just is. And the amazing thing is that when you start to live that way, this path opens.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the way reveals itself.
It's so magical, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
that is the visceral reminder. But by the way, I'm going to throw the Palo Santo in so it's
Oh, yeah,
purifying
thank
the
you.
flame while we discuss.
Okay.
the visceral reminder about noting and minding the way you feel
Yeah.
over whatever your rational mind is telling you would be the best thing for you.
Yeah.
Following the feeling and trusting that,
Yeah.
even when it seems really random or unproductive.
Yeah.
Following that there's something you're being guided to do and there's a reason for it, and that reason has an intelligence so much higher than your own.
And that's the key.
It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's trust.
Exactly.
You're like, oh, how
Right.
interesting to trust this thing inside me. Whether you want to call it your higher self, God, whatever
Yeah.
that is,
Like this impulse.
intuition, but you trust this feeling
Yeah.
to lead you down this path that you can't see.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not for you to see.
You're just meant to follow it.
Yeah.
Just take the.
And
yeah.
it just one step at a time reveals itself underneath your feet. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's gracious and you see like 4 open up and you're like, oh, it's that way.
Yeah, you connect. That's very exciting. So you're
That's
like-
usually a really
yeah.
fun experience.
You're
Yeah.
like, I can see how high I'm gonna ascend. But yeah, you don't have
Right.
to see the whole staircase.
Yeah.
You just trust in
Yeah.
taking the first step.
Even if you think you can see the whole staircase, you can't.
Yeah, it changes. Yeah.
There's a higher intelligence working here.
Yeah. I don't even know what I'm doing tomorrow.
Literally.
I can't even
see those
I want
steps.
to. I want to have that hubris. You know. Try and play it.
I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be walking on the
I
steps.
don't even know what year it is.
I don't
Just
mind
happy
it.
to be
I
here.
don't
I'm
mind
alive.
Fire's burning.
It's 2025. A lot has happened.
A lot has happened, man.
We are so lucky to be here.
very lucky. Very
Extremely.
lucky. Very grateful.
Very blessed.
Very grateful. I'm going to do the calling in now. We'll go in opposite order.
Cool.
I'm calling in. This may seem, I don't know if it'll seem like a surprise. I'm not sure. But it felt like a surprise that it came to me when I was writing this down. But I'm calling in my divine counterpart. I know.
It was a little bit of a surprise.
I also
Well, I
feel
got
that
excited.
way.
That's beautiful.
I don't know.
I'm already right
something-
here though, so.
So that's weird.
So that's let me
kinda
paper airplane this one out of here. That's a little awkward.
I guess you
actually.
don't need
You're
that.
calling me in? I'm here. I'm right here.
I'm always with you, bro.
Bro.
You know that.
Bro.
I'm always with you.
We're divine bros. we're the dudes of the divine. Remember? we
Divine
talked about this. We
bros.
talked about this, dude. I
Before
got
the
you for
show.
life. Dude.
Lifetimes.
Lifetime. Yeah, past lives, future lives. Current lives.
Bro, Twin Flames.
Hi, baby.
Hi, Molly. Are you my divine counterpart, you sweet dog?
Yeah, there she is. You
No,
called
well,
her
that was
Molly.
quick. You didn't even throw it in the fire yet.
But that's
I know.
beautiful. I'm curious what made you want to come to that conclusion.
I don't know. There's been a deep reflection over the last few months of like past romances and people I've felt that I fell in love with, even if like briefer moments, but deeper love sometimes, or what I do love about partnership and intimacy in that way. And I'm like, yeah, I guess life is moving pretty well and I'm really taking care of everything, it feels like.
Yeah.
But it would be nice to have a partner to share this with and like update at the end of the day. Guess what?
Yeah.
You know, today was a success like this.
Oh,
You
that's
know,
really sweet.
I don't know. It just it washed over me, and then when I was calling in, it just popped into my head, and I guess that's following the intuition, the vibration thing. This is the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
The inner me is like, yes,
That's what
be
I want.
open to your counterpart, be open to some divine union and growth through that way. I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa, love.
It's
Yeah, yeah,
exciting.
yeah.
I'm writing love songs again. Shoot.
That's what your heart
That
wants.
is so exciting.
That's beautiful.
The divine counterpart brings many blessings.
I'm so excited.
So many
much
blessings.
stuff. So much stuff.
I'm
You must
so
be ready to
excited.
expand.
I think so. You know, I think I'm ready to grow up. I feel like.
That's a perfect example of like not being able to see the full staircase of something,
Literally
but just
in this
trusting
moment,
and
yeah.
like that desire within
Oh,
you,
yeah.
and like seeing how that unfolds. Like you can't even imagine like the universe of a person you're gonna find and explore.
I love that you said that. The universe of a person. It's so true.
I love
You
love.
know what I mean? I love love too. I was just thinking that earlier.
I feel like there's also this wisdom in when you become skillful at sort of feeling your way vibrationally through life
Yeah.
of the hover. which is like when you don't see it and the thing hasn't arrived yet and you don't
Yeah.
know what is coming next,
Yeah.
to master the ability to basically just wait.
Yeah.
Just hover for a
Trust.
second.
Yeah.
Because the opposite of that is to like feel like you have to do something, you know, date someone, go out.
Right.
And this person, you know, whatever, like it could be regarding that subject matter or a million others, like, you know, work. Or this year started off so slow and with such alchemy and pain that none of us ever expected. And, you know, you have to just learn to hold.
Yeah.
It starts first within, and then you kind of
Yeah.
put the
Yeah.
scan out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You hurt your
start
lower
opening.
back. Sometimes you just gotta hold.
Yeah.
Hold for a while.
Yeah,
Gotta
rest.
Hold. Hang in there. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it is usually where
Yeah.
it's being
Chill.
asked.
Yeah, right. Like,
to
but the part
rest.
like before you have the thing that like you've set your heart on, just like trusting and still enjoying the process as you make your
Yeah.
way there.
Yeah, that's a skill, and I know so many people who. It's such a thing in our society. We just been trained to do this, like, you know, capitalistic, like just spin the wheels and feel like you have to always be thinking of the next thing and moving and going, and that's fine, you know, you can do that, but it's slower, it takes longer.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
Go further by waiting.
Yeah. Doing less. That's my mantra of the year. Do less. Don't
less.
react.
Say
That's
less.
my. I love
Yeah,
saying
you
it.
did say that.
Such
Don't
a good
react was
mantra.
Don't react. Do
was
less.
one of the ones. Like,
Yeah.
don't
It's
react.
funny. I saw this clip randomly on YouTube, and it reminded me of that. It was like a billionaire's reaction to what to do if the stock market crashes, and like his whole thing was like, do nothing. Like, wait. Like, just don't react to it. Just hold on. Trust in the long process of it. And I was like, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Do less. Just don't.
Yeah.
Just
I'm
don't
saying the same thing as that billionaire. Actually, we're on the same page. Me and that guy. We're the same guy.
I'm like, yeah. That's how I knew I was gonna be a
And
billionaire
I
soon,
am
dude.
now a billionaire.
I'm just gonna be a monk in a monastery, just literally doing nothing.
I'm billionaire.
Where are the
There's
billions?
so much wisdom there.
Yeah.
Yeah, different
And the
kind
stillness.
Exactly.
Is it my turn?
Your turn.
What did I write? Sharing more of myself.
of will.
So I was kind of connecting it to what I was letting go of as the flip side of that coin, which goes from privacy and cocoon to opening the rock at the cave door and really stepping out and sharing, you know, this spirit with the world. And today is, obviously, it's exactly what we're doing.
Yeah.
But I think it's a theme that's going to be big for me throughout the whole year. And doing, you know, there's been so much healing around that and around why in the past I've been maybe scared to do that or hiding or, you know, basically like feeling safe being seen is a really big, it's been a journey, I think, for me and many, many other, you know, highly sensitive people. So it's time. Hello, world. It's time.
The world is so lucky to have you.
So lucky to have you.
Journey.
As
You're
are we.
so sweet.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for saying
The
that.
world's gonna receive you very well.
Do you want a hand again?
Yes, thank you.
The assist. The alley-oop.
Yes, yes.
We toss it. Ka-dam.
It'll burn there.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've had it
seems
happen
hot
before.
enough for paper.
Yeah. Slow burn.
It'll combust.
Right on time.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. Coming out, being seen, showing yourself to the world. It's a good feeling. I can relate to that because
Yeah.
I have like projects I want to put out that are kind of like more like putting myself out there in a way that I haven't before. And in and I'm feeling that like process, like that transformation of going from like kind of feeling like you're in the shadow a little bit to like, oh, it's like vulnerable out here, like in the light, like in the spotlight, but like feeling that and doing it anyway. So I resonate with that. It's cool.
I met Iman at Voices Against Cancer, this incredible convention in where was it? Sioux Falls.
North Dakota.
And you were with some of your cast.
right.
And I actually learned so much about this subject exactly simply by observing Rosario.
Rosario Dawson.
Yeah, that Rosario.
That Rosario.
And I just watched her because, when you're a big star like that and the lead of a show, there's a lot of eyes on you. There's a lot of, people, you walk into a room and people are excited and they're watching what you do and all that. And there could be a certain type of pressure that could come from that. But instead, I watched this woman who I've loved since I was like 7 years old and who in many ways is sort of an expander archetype for me.
For sure.
Just like carry this mantle with so much humility and authenticity. And I discovered something during that convention because of Rosario, and I think because of why we were all there. There was this deeper reason that was grounding it, which was raising money for cancer research for children. So it really felt pure, and it didn't feel like networky or weird. Where it kind of clicked to me what it looks like when you can sit in the spotlight and know that you're in it, but be totally yourself and feel like you don't have to be perfect.
Right.
That was the big equation for me. It was like, how do you do that and allow yourself to be imperfect? Not perfectly this or perfectly that, just yourself. With a sense of ease. And that watching her, I was like, oh, that's how. Okay, cool.
That's so cool. What a compliment to her.
I mean,
she's doing it.
She is a revelation. It's the same thing I felt when I first witnessed her, like, working. I witnessed her at the camera rehearsals and on set. And she is, like, I used to say, when she came on set, it was like the sun walked in the room. Like, everything got warmer. It was crazy. And she had this call, I don't know that it was like, it was like she was cooler. It was cooler than that. I'm in there one day and I just hear this bird call and then everyone does it in response and I'm like, what's happening?
God, I love that.
And they're like, Rosario's here. I'm like, oh.
The vibes
and you just
have
feel
arrived.
the energy just like heat up this stage. And I was like, what is going on? And then I witnessed her come in and she does her thing, like she just floats. She is herself. She's alive. She's excited. She's interested. No issue setting boundaries and being like, no to this, no to that. This is what I'll focus on. And then just locks in. And it's just like, it looks effortless because in some ways you have to assume she's found a way to make it the most efficient.
It's mastery.
Possible. It's mastery. It is a mastery.
It's mastery of energetics.
And it's amazing to witness. I feel the same way about her. She's like an angel.
Yeah, it's cool how certain people just have that like gravity.
I love her.
The most lit.
So cool.
Just so cool. It's like, what up? I'm like, dude,
you're so lit.
You're so lit.
You're so lit. It's crazy.
Journey, do you want to go?
Yeah, I am calling in something very practical, but I think essential, which is better sleep.
Let's go.
I'm on a 3-day streak of getting about 4 hours a night.
Oof.
And I don't know why. You know what my problem is? I like to stay up late.
Yeah, it's not a problem, but could be an issue if you don't have a schedule that permits it.
But even like on the weekends, I woke up like after only sleeping 4 hours this morning, and I look at the clock and realize that. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm just probably woke up for a sec, go to the bathroom, I'll just come back in here and fall asleep. And then like I don't. I just stay awake, and my body's just like, no, you're awake. I'll like toss and turn for 30 minutes and then so I just go out throughout the day and I don't know how I'm gonna get the better sleep, but but that's why I'm calling it in. You know what I mean?
That's a start, dude.
Like we're saying, you don't have to see every step. You just sometimes the only effort you're making is just calling it in.
That's a really good start.
But it makes sense because my body, it's an endogenous process, right? So if I'm setting that intention with my mind, then that's obviously gonna affect the body and I'll report back when we do the next recording on Wednesday and let you guys know if it worked.
Okay.
Can't wait to hear.
Can't wait to hear about that.
Cliffhanger.
Love you calling that in for all of us as well.
Wishing that for you, friend. Definitely. It's important.
Yeah, it is. But also I feel like there is there's a certain euphoria in being really tired, Like I'm so like today I had to go into the office and I'm just like so dazed, but like you know what I mean? But it's kind of fun. Because I just feel like I'm a zombie, you know what I mean? I'm like cutting myself a lot of slack. I'm just sitting down at my desk with my Starbucks breakfast, and my cold brew coffee. You know what I mean? And I space out. I forget what I'm even doing, and it's just like there's an excitement about that. There's like really low pressure. So the whole day has felt like that. It's been like a really nice, languorous, sedated day.
Amazing.
Well, thank you for taking part in our ritual. It is an honor to have the talented,
Dazzling,
beautiful,
versatile,
intelligent,
enchanting,
spiritual,
mystic,
Receive this.
vibrant,
ferocious,
glowing,
amazing,
incredible,
wonderful.
Elizabeth Grullón.
Let's go.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, guys.
Um,
That was beautiful.
Yeah, it's such an honor to have you, especially after hearing your intentions, of what you're letting go and what you're calling in. It's like, you know,
Bingo.
you want to feel that
Yeah.
everything you do is in alignment for everyone's highest good. I always try to affirm that and pray for that, intend that.
Amen.
Yeah.
So to hear it verbalized, where it's like, oh, this podcast being here is in alignment with something you're focusing on, I'm like, oh, thank God. You know,
Yeah.
like that's so special. So it's really great to have you here.
Yeah,
Thank you
so
much for
much.
having me. I'm honored, and thank you for that beautiful cascade of compliments.
Oh.
I
We really- we coulda
do you guys
kept
want to
doing
just
that.
call
Coulda done it.
me every day?
Yeah. We actually we can
perfect.
do that. Yeah, it's
You're
part
like,
of it's part of
yes.
being a guest here. We offer that as a service later.
Yeah.
Where
Perfect.
you can just call and
You
Hey,
can
guys.
schedule us in chunks of 30 minutes
yeah.
Okay.
at a time.
You could
Cool.
schedule us
Yeah.
individually as well if you want to make it like different parts in the day or different events
just
or
to
town. you know.
delegate, break up the
Yeah,
day a little bit.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So how are you? How was your day?
I am excellent. I had a really beautiful day. I had brunch with some friends and family at home,
Nice.
and then went for a 3.5 mile hike
Whoa.
through my neighborhood, which was a lot
Yeah.
on this little pregnant bod.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
But good. She's kicking right now, so
It's a
she
she.
really?
yeah.
Oh,
That's
how
so exciting.
beautiful.
She's kicking.
Does she have a name?
I think she does.
Okay.
Yeah. We're gonna reveal that upon her arrival.
Okay.
Makes
Okay.
sense. Makes sense. Yeah.
Um,
Keep it tucked
Debut
in.
of
so
on
it-
this podcast. Just kidding. And you will be the first to know.
I would like to make an
Go for
announcement.
Oh, well
Nice.
done. Well done.
Thank
Very
you.
elegantly done.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I did, and then I took a good salty Epsom salt bath
That's
for
the best.
for the bod, and also just to cleanse all the energy and come here kind of revived and refreshed, and yeah, so that was my day. Feeling pretty good.
Pretty.
It's a nice little
sounds beautiful.
Saturday.
Pretty chill good day. Yeah.
Not bad,
Taking a nice hike, doing the work, and then chilling in an Epsom salt bath.
right?
It's like, yeah. It's like a perfect balance.
And then hanging out, doing a podcast
Yeah.
with
Chilling.
the homies.
With the
With the
homies,
homies.
around the fire.
Come on.
Classic. Kind of
Come
a
on.
classic Saturday
Exactly.
night. Could I ask? So, do you find yourself now carrying child, carrying an angel? Do you find yourself the classic having specific cravings, or even more specifically, besides just the cravings, which I gotta hear now after that? Do you find yourself doing things that maybe in the past you wanted to do more of, or things that you've never even thought to do, whether it's like, oh, I'm going to take a bath with a candle, I never do that, or whatever type of ritualistic practices? Because I know you are a very intentional human who has rituals for her life.
Yes, I do.
And so have the rituals transformed now that you're carrying child, and also let's hear those cravings.
Yes. Yeah, a lot has transformed. A lot is transforming. I have always been a girl who will take a bath with a candle any time of day.
They need to be pregnant for that.
Especially in the winter. I love my even 10 a.m. bath with a coffee.
Oof,
Very indulgent. Highly
that's
recommend.
beautiful.
Wait, bath and a coffee, the double hot.
Yeah.
Interesting. You are bold.
Okay.
Yeah.
You would need like an iced coffee maybe.
Imagine, but
Yeah.
imagine
You're a real keeper of the
hot
fire.
bath, hot bath, cold brew.
Oh, there you go. Stop it.
That's special. That's right.
Forget
there. You taste that cold brew coming down.
We just
That's the new
discovered
Sonic cold
something.
plunge.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's the new contrast therapy.
Yeah.
But yes, so much has changed. I would say the biggest thing, we talked a little bit about this before we started recording, is more energetic. And it's now understanding that I deserve to be helped as much as I need. And my feelings are following the vibrational path is like a duh. Like it's like not
Automatic
even
now.
a negotiable. Like
Right.
how could I ever turn against the vibrational path? Being pregnant. Being pregnant, you cannot. I cannot. So it's just a very tender space of a lot of care. So if I need to lay down, take a nap, lay down, take a nap.
Yeah.
You know,
Let
take a
yourself-
beat.
Yeah.
Had a big lunch, feeling a little tired. Take a seat. You know, it's very sweet
chair.
like that. It's and I'm lucky at being an actor and a filmmaker. Like I don't have to show up to work. Set hours every day. And so I kind of get to have that luxurious level of self-care. And then, cravings. I would say my relationship to food and cooking has always been like very deep. I love to eat. I love to cook. I love the fact that the food comes from the earth and we eat the earth and we are the earth. And it's always very spiritual for me.
Yeah, the circle of life.
And also very, the circle of life, yes, exactly. And also just very ancestral and it connects me to my culture. But now that's even deepened more. So it's super intuitive.
Right.
It's not necessarily like one specific strong craving, but sometimes it's just, I have to have carrots for 2 days. I just need carrots.
Oh, interesting.
Or for a whole week, I need cucumbers. I just want cucumbers.
It's like a
I need
specific
cucumber.
taste like that.
Yes. Yeah.
I can feel the intensity.
I need
Cucumbers.
mozzarella. Like one morning I woke up at 11 a.m. and I was like to my husband, I was like, Thibaud, go to the store now and get me mozzarella. No. I need a caprese. That's what it was. I've got the tomatoes and I've got the basil. I need the mozzarella.
Oh my God.
So yeah, certain things like that. But overall, just really wanting to eat like super nutrient dense food. And then sometimes just, cheeseburger,
Oh yeah.
you know?
Yep.
Or like sometimes just like mac and cheese, like comforting things.
Yeah, something that just feels like a
Interesting.
hug.
Yeah.
It feels like I've been eating like that the last few weeks, so maybe I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
I've been a little bit
Have you
like
checked?
a little quick to the. I'm like, you know what? I need a burger.
You're talking
Yeah.
about
I
you've
need
been on the
that.
vibrational path too.
I
You
need that burger right now.
Yeah. The vibrational path.
The vibrational path. It has some treats on
I'm
the
getting
way.
cravings. I'm on the
There's
vibrational path.
many treats on the way.
It's all
On the
treats
path.
actually. The real when you're really on that path, you
It's
notice.
all treats.
It's all treats.
Even the bad stuff later on, you're like, oh,
Yeah, I know.
that was a treat.
I guess that was a treat.
Yes, that was
Long
true,
term,
after all.
long burn treat. Slow burn.
Long burn treat.
Long burn treat. You know, speaking of being an actor and a filmmaker, I know we've talked about this. We talked about it when we met, but just for the people listening, where did you start acting, and what got you into it?
Oh my goodness, great question. Where did I start acting? Because I knew I wanted to be an actress since I was 8 years old. I used to watch the Oprah Winfrey Show with my mom every single day after school. Watch Denzel, Julia on the couch, and I was just like, those people. They're promoting their movie, but then they were also like building a school in Africa somewhere, and my little 8-year-old mind was like, I'll do that. I'll help people and I'll be like fabulous.
A perfect life. check.
So we're just still working with that. That was the basic thesis, and still going.
Running with it. Here we are.
I'm here, fabulous.
I'm doing what I can. Okay.
As as I do.
I'm doing my best. But yeah, and then I ended up going to a performing arts high school in Orlando, Florida. And then I was acting a lot in that program. We were doing a lot of plays, and we had to do a monologue every Monday. Famously, if any of my friends from high school are watching this, they're all traumatized right now remembering that.
Oh, monologue Mondays, huh?
Yeah.
Really wake you up.
Yeah, wake
You
up.
gotta be ready.
Get up there and shine.
You can never enjoy your weekend. You gotta be working on that monologue.
Get up there and be fabulous.
Yeah.
Go.
Exactly.
Remember the schools in Africa.
Yeah, exactly. Remember your dream.
Remember why you're here.
They need you. So yeah, that's probably when it started. Maybe like really started high school. Then I went to the Guthrie Theater training program in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Oh, cool.
And studied, in a conservatory style, studied classical theater.
Wow.
So all the classics, and then worked around a while, and then got to LA. Because the thing is, I always wanted to do movies.
Yeah.
Like my dad, and my brother were obsessed with film, and it was always just about going to that Blockbuster on a Friday night and getting 2 for the weekend, sometimes 3.
Yeah. 3.
I know. It was wild.
Yeah.
And I mean, now it's like, we've got 30,000.
Just watch 30 movies.
Yeah. But it was always about films for me. So I think, in all honesty, when I got to LA and kind of got plugged into the system, I kind of lost sight of that for a while. Because in many ways, TV is sort of more accessible. You can kind of get more TV auditions and stuff. But now I'm getting back to that and making movies and just focusing my attention on that. And it's been incredibly enriching.
Well, we are big fans of yours. We watched a lot of the work you have out.
Oh, thanks,
and
guys.
Boy, did we.
We are, I at least I will speak for myself, and then Journey will say his piece, but I met you, but I didn't know you of your work when I met you.
Right.
We met as colleagues
At
in
a convention.
this convention. And I knew we both we were both in the Star Wars Galaxy
Right.
universe. You play Trilla, the second Night Sister in Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Love Trilla.
With Cam and a bunch of other greats. Trilla's so sick.
Did you play the game?
No.
Are you a gamer?
Oh,
I haven't been a gamer
Anybody?
since high school. Used to be a big gamer, but I believe David behind the computer over there played.
yeah, David's played.
Nice.
Yeah, because he was. Yeah.
He was like, I recognize her. I don't know what from.
It was crazy, and it was like I recognize her from not real life.
Yeah, he was like, I pretty
I
sure.
love that.
Why is Trilla on Grey's Anatomy?
Yeah. That's weird.
That's so crazy. I know her in video games. Is she getting into live action now? It looks just like her. But so in seeing all your work, because I met you and we connected through process, which I would love to get into at some point today, but we connected over process. You heard our panel, and I mentioned something about my process, and
Oh my
we
gosh.
powwowed over
Your
that.
story about booking
That's right.
Ahsoka was wild.
Yeah. And so I almost like became a fan of you knowing your process. It was like, I can't wait to see this person's work. I know she's hyper talented. Like it's like a feeling. And I feel like I've felt that before with people who I've met but not seen their work yet. And it's never not been right. You know what I mean? This feeling. So when I finally got to watch all your work,
You realized for the first time you were wrong. You were like, oh no.
What happened to the
that's what I
process?
said. I said, I realized that I can't trust that feeling.
Well, good night, folks.
Bye, y'all.
Thank
Thanks,
you so much.
No, the absolute opposite. It was literally like, it was like almost like a satisfying, like, I knew it.
Really?
She's a beast. And my favorite thing is
thank you.
your range.
Yeah.
You can do like everything. And interestingly enough, you've gotten to do such different roles and scenes and characters and emotions across so many different platforms.
Yeah.
You are in television, you are in films, you are in video games, you are in cartoons, animated shows. It's
You're in
you are
musicals.
like a savant of, you know what I mean? Like you really like when you
Thank
learn
you.
to act, because there are people who act and like they really only ever do one or the other, and maybe they don't have interest or translate into one or the other thing. You're doing all of them, and it's really fascinating. It's very impressive, and yeah, I just think we were all amazed at your range, and
That's so kind. Thank
Yeah.
you.
It
Yeah,
makes
of
sense when you
course.
said that you're classically, you study theater, like the tradition of it. You have like a formal training in it, because that's how you come across like on the screen is like a very polished, like almost like a acting assassin. You know what I mean? It's like you just show up like there's like surgical precision.
Acting assassin.
Yeah, like you're just
I'll
like
have to
you're
keep that one in my back pocket.
Yeah, that was sweet. But yeah, there was I also learned that not only were you in the Jedi the Fallen Order, but 2K NBA 2K
Yes.
2024.
The Kobe Bryant edition,
Oh,
which was such an honor.
which character were you in that?
I played a character named Teresa Warren, who is the first ever female coach in the franchise,
Oh, amazing!
which was also such an honor.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
that is amazing.
That was really fun.
I'm more outside the industry, obviously, than someone like Iman. So I'm like curious when someone like you who studies, acting, and since the age 8, you have this dream of being an actor. At what point does the voice acting, like cartoons and video games, come into play? Do people just recognize you have like such like a smooth, beautiful voice, and like this would be nice, or is it something you sought out and you're like, I want to do that too?
I sought it out.
Oh, cool.
And it's a funny story. I came here with the biggest dreams. I think I came thinking it would be a lot easier than it was for me to like break into TV and film.
Yeah.
And I had a great manager, and I was auditioning all the time, and it just wasn't clicking. And I think probably there were many reasons for that. I think one of them that is important is like this path of being an artist and the path of being an actor, at least for me in my estimation, it's an evolutionary process. It takes time. You grow into it. You grow into yourself. You grow into your voice. You grow into confidence, being able to do what you do on set consistently. You grow into what I was talking about earlier, like feeling comfortable being seen, and being comfortable being on camera in stillness.
Yeah.
And all that stuff, for me, it was just not something that I just like could learn in a classroom.
Yeah.
It was something that it took for me over a decade just in LA
Yeah.
of cultivating within my own self, in sort of in my own privacy, like through meditation and a lot of internal work. So anyway, it didn't happen like for me. And then I was like working in restaurants and working my side gigs, and I guess I just always felt like I could do voiceover.
Yeah.
Nobody ever told me I could. I just thought
saw it
maybe I
yourself.
could.
Let me be the first to tell you. You can do
Yeah.
voiceover.
You got it.
You can do it.
You can do the shit out of voiceover.
You got it, kid.
You're gonna go far.
You're gonna crush them.
You're gonna be a
Yeah.
star.
So, and then I was like, couldn't I be making money doing that instead of like serving food to people?
Right.
So I went to my commercial agent at the time, and I let them, they had a voiceover department. So I thought it was like a no-brainer. Like, could you represent me for voiceover?
Yeah.
But I didn't just ask. I went above and beyond, and I recorded a demo on my own with a friend of mine who had a recording studio.
Cool.
I transcribed a bunch of commercials, and I like did a whole demo, like presented it to them, like very professional, and they were already my agent, so I thought they'd be like, bet.
Yeah,
They were
they're
like,
blown away.
No.
No. What? Even if they heard your voice on the commercials?
Yeah, they were like, you sound really green. You need to take some classes. Like, it's just not it.
Interesting.
So I was all hurt and rejected and everything. By the way, this is before I ever meditated in my life or,
Okay, yeah.
interesting.
This is like a pre.
Did any self-inquiry or anything like that. I was just like a kid.
This is another thing that happens sometimes.
Should we hold for
Well,
the
Ghetto bird?
helicopters come through. We ask them not to come by when we're shooting, but sometimes I think they do it out of spite.
They don't get our texts.
I think they just want to be in it.
They want to get a cameo.
We never invited them in it.
They're like,
We
"What?"
didn't invite them on. They're like, we'll be there.
Oh,
We'll be in that podcast.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, you were saying.
So where was I? So yeah, I was just a kid.
You were like,
at that time, and so I was really hurt by that, and I kind of took a few months to just kind of like sulk.
Yeah.
And then one day, out of the blue, I booked a Toyota Prius commercial.
Let's go.
For on camera through
Okay.
that commercial agent.
Right.
Yeah.
And the Prius commercial people asked if I would audition to do the voiceover
Come on.
for that commercial as well.
Come on.
Which literally never happens.
No.
That is completely not a thing.
Not a thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is just a perfect example of the universe being like, oh, you thought there were rules? I'm creative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I auditioned, I got it. And then, yes, I did get it. Didn't I get it?
I got it.
I got it. And then because of that, the agent had to represent me for voiceover because they had to close that deal. And then it led to like 5 Toyota Prius commercials. Wow. And then like the next month I booked an Airbnb thing. And that was like 10 years ago. or something, maybe 8 years ago or something like that. So it's been pretty consistent since then. But the reason I love telling that story is because I just think it's a really good example of like you do everything you can.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it might seem like the answer is no, but it's not.
Yeah.
The answer is not no.
Yeah.
It'll come in a way. And then also a really good example again of the creativity of the intelligence, you know. And also don't listen to people when they tell you
Oh yeah.
you're green and no and it's not gonna
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, that's insane. Like your voice. My first introduction of you was hearing the intro that you were gracious enough to do on the song "Where You At," and like it's so distinct.
Journey is the rapper on the other rapper on Where You At.
Yeah, so we've all collabed on a song.
Yeah, technically we are.
So we're on a
the
song
first time.
together?
Yeah, we're on a song
Come
together.
on.
Yeah. We're feeding on the same song.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad we could all finally be in the same place.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. We're a band.
Yeah, so we're band.
Hey, we're a band.
And anyone who like hears that, if you want to hear like a quick sample of your majestic voice, you can just listen to like the beginning 20 seconds of that song. And the idea that someone would ever tell you that you're green or like that this isn't a good fit for you, I love that too because it just shows like people don't know. You know what I mean?
They don't know.
Like if you believe it in your heart, like you saw that for yourself, like I want to do that, so you prepared. You know, you like I'm sure you're practicing with your voice when you made like that demo for them, and the opportunity presented itself, and you were ready to strike, and then that explodes into more commercials and a whole career doing that.
And what's interesting, nothing in those 3 months, other than the fact that you had to feel what you felt and spent your time in those emotions, you aren't 3 months better of a voice actress than you were when you told them.
Oh, goodness, no.
So it's so fascinating when someone will be like, you're not ready.
Yeah.
But the universe doesn't really work like that. It's like you're like perfect for whatever it is that you're meant for.
Exactly.
And if you're inspired to do something, you're meant to do that thing. Like you going above and beyond and creating that demo reel, surely it was like inspired action. You felt called to do that. You were pulled. You were like, I don't normally exude this much energy creating a demo reel at a studio and recording my voice and transcribing commercials. I'm not doing that all the time. Why would I ever do that? But all of a sudden I'm pulled and called to do this. There's a calling happening. You followed it. The logical route fell apart and they were like, no. And you were like, what? I was just called to do this. I was why would I feel so electrified by this, enlivened by this if it weren't for me? And the universe confirmed your action. It's one of the coolest parts of following the pull
It's
is
so
when it comes
satisfying.
around.
Yeah.
Right.
When it comes around and you're like, that's why.
Yeah.
You know, or that's
Yeah.
one of the reasons why it had to happen that
Yeah.
way.
Right.
Wow.
It's the best thing ever.
Yeah, that's like an example of like when, like we were talking about earlier, when you're walking on the vibrational path, following it, and then the reality itself like reconfigures
Yeah.
around that
Yeah.
intention to make it a reality.
Yeah, and you know, it's everything. Like there were so many jobs that I really, really wanted, you know, but I wasn't a vibrational match for them because of maybe a few reasons I do know about and 1,000 reasons I don't even know about. Maybe there were many jobs that I really wasn't ready for in all actuality.
Right.
And I actually had a lot more growing up to do. But I think once you realize, you said it so perfectly, you know, you're inspired to do that thing for a reason. I always say that. You have your dream for a reason. And then once you realize that you have every obstacle and delay for a reason, it's for your highest good, it's for your protection, it's for you to mature, it's for your maturation. You know, you are like in process. You're on this evolutionary path, as I was saying. Then you kind of realize like, oh, I want to do these things that I saw actors doing on the Oprah Winfrey Show when I was 8 years old. And I want to use my voice and I want to put myself out there because I want to share what's in my spirit.
Yeah.
It's not really about like me having what that girl over there
Right.
has or that career.
Right.
So you got to break free from that. And that really takes time, I think, to break free from the lateral comparisons
Yeah.
or
Any sort of comparison.
any sort of
really.
comparisons.
For sure.
And understand I'm on a unique evolutionary path. It is mine. And when I walk through the vibration, the whole universe sort of bends toward.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
It's
What more
crazy.
could I possibly
Yeah.
need than that?
It's
All you have to do is
wild.
follow your heart.
It's wild.
Yeah. And I love telling the story because there was a lot of sort of right action or inspired action. It's not this interpretation of manifestation that's like I write it down at home and then I do nothing. Like do what you can and then hover. You know, and
Yeah,
hope.
thanks.
Yeah. Hovering is half the battle.
Yeah, there's a lot of hovering.
Yeah.
There's-
Most of the time, mostly just hovering.
there's returning arriving at stillness is like arriving at a place of faith. When you are
Yeah.
okay without seeing your manifestation expand or bud in your life and bear fruit, when you can still feel trusting and knowing in the fact that like it is unfolding. I cannot see it's unfolding, but it is 100% unfolding.
Yeah.
I can relax and I don't need to do anything more that I don't feel like doing right now. And when there is something to do, I will for sure be inspired to do it.
Exactly.
And I look forward to that. But for now, because nothing's happening, that just means there's nothing to do. Or else I would be inspired to do it. And that stillness, that hovering took me forever. Sometimes it was subconscious. I would just get straight into like, oh, well, there's nothing else going on. I should maximize my time and at least do this and read this and work out and schedule this and plan for this. And
Right.
It's like, but really none of it felt good. All of it felt
You're
laborious.
you're forcing the funk.
Yeah. And then usually around those times I'm really looking at it, I would develop an injury of some sort.
I was just about to say you get sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get injured or sick.
Yeah. Because you're pushing through an impossible wall. It's like this isn't where you're supposed to be on that step. You're supposed to just be still right now. And your lack of faith is causing you to drain your life force. But yeah.
There's so many cool examples that I have, but there's one that's really coming strongly to my mind right now around this subject, which is my latest film,
Yes, the things we carry.
The Things We Carry.
Yeah.
So my husband and I, who's my partner, writing partner, producing partner, he is a director and I am an actor. So that's kind of how we come together. We wrote this short film, shot it, and we're in the final days, like the final touches of post right now.
Nice. Congrats.
Thank you. And I had this really incredible experience when I was going through this process. Actually, yeah, 2 things. One related to injury, that's a separate thing.
Okay.
But anyway, I sat down and wrote the first draft of the script. It was 10 pages. Over time, it grew and grew to become 20 pages. We went through the process of raising some money, getting funds together, getting into pre-production, putting together the crew, literally everything. It was such a labor of love, and it was such an independent outfit.
Yeah.
And finally we get to casting, and we basically ended up casting these 2 actors who later, after they were cast, told us that each of them individually have had personal life experiences related to the stories of the characters that they were playing.
Whoa.
And that was just one of those moments where I really understood something for the first time, because I sat alone in my house and I wrote that script from my imagination, from out of nowhere. So how could it be that specifically the exact 2 actors, one of whom has never acted before, we found him in a restaurant.
Oh, wow.
And just asked him, you have the perfect look for this character. Would you ever be interested in being a short film?
Yeah.
He was like, no.
Wow.
He's way too cool for us.
Wow.
He ended up doing it, and we feel like we discovered a superstar. He's brilliant.
That's awesome.
Wow. What's his name?
D'Angelo, shout out to D'Angelo Abeldinger.
Shout out D'Angelo.
Absolute superstar. He's going to be huge. But what are the chances? What are the chances, if you actually try to break that down?
Yeah.
The 2 actors, and the other actor is Michael Madsen.
Yeah. Are you allowed to say what the thing was that happened that correlated to their role, or do you not want to disclose that much at this
Or
point?
even what the film is about?
I may not share that because I think it's personal to the actors, which I know it kind of takes a little bit of the steam out of my story.
No.
But
yeah.
Regardless, it was a real defining moment of my understanding of how I can be used as a conduit for spirit in a bigger way than I could have ever planned for.
Right, beyond yourself.
Totally beyond myself.
Yeah.
There's a higher intelligence, even when I'm sitting home alone, writing a script from my own imagination, that's working through all of this, all of matter, in a profound way. And when I realized that, I was really excited by that. That was an amazing discovery,
It's huge.
Yeah.
It's like it is to discover that this thing can happen that is so much bigger than you, and it feels bigger. It's like you've tapped into this expression of self that is bigger. You're like, whoa, I've expanded.
Yes.
That's
yes.
a profound
expansion.
Yes.
Yeah.
And spirit is here.
Right.
And it wants to speak. It wants to tell its story. It wants to be heard. It's excited that you're working. You know what I mean? There was a infusion, and what a discovery to make. That was last year.
Wow.
I was like, oh my goodness. So the movie is it's a 20-minute thriller.
Cool.
About a grieving man who becomes a vigilante and stumbles upon the suspect of a robbery.
Okay.
And it was based on true events. We heard this story about, it was a true story that happened, I believe it was in Texas, where basically, I don't want to tell the whole story because it is a bit of a spoiler.
Sure, yeah.
But a guy comes into a restaurant and holds everybody up at gunpoint and makes a very unfortunate discovery at that point. So that was just the impetus, and then we kind of fleshed it out from there. And it's a 20-minute thriller, which is my favorite genre: thrillers, psychological thrillers,
Same.
vigilante
Same.
stories.
Same.
and we're so super excited about it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, we're very excited
Can't wait
about
to share
it.
it with you guys.
I'm
Yeah.
so excited after hearing what the plot is. 'Cause I'm a big like true crime fan. Like I like that feeling,
Me
and like the fact that it's
too.
based on a real event. Like that's like my that's my bread and butter of entertainment.
Yeah, I'm excited to share it with you guys.
Do you think you'll have? I have a few questions, Molly. She's just doing security stuff.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll have
Square
like a friends and family premiere, and then will you guys do a festival run? Will you guys release it? What do you guys have an idea right now post
Yeah,
finishing the movie?
we're starting
like-
to form those ideas are really visions and dreams actually. We're gonna be submitting to festivals
Awesome.
and hopefully if there's one that happens in LA, it could be a fun way to like invite some of our LA community.
That would be cool.
But if not, or if we need to do an additional something, we also might set up like a private screening for family and friends and a few industry professionals
Sure.
in a theater. And then ultimately down the line, obviously depending on how it resonates with audiences, it'd be wonderful to sell it and get it out on maybe one of the streamers that has like a short film corner.
Right.
So that way it can really be shared with a larger audience.
Wow. Well, depending on the timing of the episode and what content, maybe if you guys have like a poster or a film website or
Yeah.
anything like that, we'll make sure it's all linked
Cool.
and tagged in
you.
any way. Yeah. So looking forward to it. It's The Things We Carry.
The Things We Carry.
Starring
Michael Madsen.
Michael Madsen.
Yeah.
And are you
Michael
also?
Madsen. You know Michael Madsen?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Reservoir Dogs, Kill Bill, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood,
Oh,
Donnie Brasco,
let me look him up because I know all those movies.
Free Willy.
So I'm just-
Oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah, that guy. Mr. Blonde.
Yeah.
Reservoir Dogs.
Oh, Michael
the
Madsen.
psychopath, the one that cuts
Michael
up the ear.
Madsen.
Yeah.
He's a legend.
He's a legend.
Oh, Journey, I'm going to show you a scene
is
later
a
of him in Reservoir
legend.
Dogs, dude. He is like
That was so fun.
a go. Wow, that's
yeah.
amazing.
And then I got
And you-
to act with him.
I was about to say, you act in this, correct?
Yeah.
So your husband is the director.
Yeah.
You're both the writers, or
We're both the writers.
so you both wrote it. What's his name? The
Thibaud
director?
Gorin.
Thibaud Gorin.
Yeah.
Great name.
Oh.
That is a really cool name.
I think that's a cool name.
Yeah.
Thibaud
Thank
Gorin.
you.
Thibaud Gorin.
Very
Shout
cool.
out to Thibaud.
Thibaud.
Thibaud or TiVo?
Thibaud.
Thibaud, that's what I
Big
thought. Thibaud Gorin.
Yeah.
Sick name. Directed by Thibaud Gorin, The Things We Carry, starring Michael Madsen, Elizabeth Grullón,
Oui?
and D'Angelo Abeldinger.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Good
Yeah.
memory.
How would I forget Abeldinger?
Fair point.
You know, it was a fun name.
So many good names on that movie. I might watch it just for the credits. Just
Even
Fair
just all those
point.
title cards, yeah, they're gonna look so good.
That's awesome though. It's cool like in the creation of a movie, right? Because like we've been talking about all the different ways that you're versatile and in being an actor. But like when you're creating an actual project, like you were saying, you're creating a space, like setting things into motion that involve, I'm sure, like dozens of people on this project, and like can mean something for all of them and like elevate their life stories, right? And that came from you having this inspiration of just like creating something that you're passionate about, letting the spirit speak, and that provides a stage almost for everyone else's spirits to speak. It's like such
Right.
a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I read somewhere.
Wow.
I don't know who wrote it, but it was, I'm paraphrasing, your desires are not only for you. You fulfilling your desires serve the greater good, like the greater
Yes, God.
collective.
Yeah.
And that really alleviated things in my mind, in my heart. It was like,
love
right,
that.
there is a bigger, I have chosen to walk the way
Yeah.
where everything I'm guided to do helps the highest good.
I love that so much. Your desire is not only for you.
They're not only for you.
That's
so there's a
powerful.
level of, hey, you ignoring them
Yeah.
is selfish as well.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You not wanting to write that piece because you're like maybe, I should focus on something else. Even though I really want to do this, but it's like, what am I doing that? It's like that container that these two men
Yeah.
got to, share their life through and heal from their own past experiences that lined up with it too, wouldn't have
Yeah.
been there. That desire was
Right.
for them as much as it was for you.
Yeah.
And
Oof.
it's a really
Yeah, unique
It's so
process.
liberating. This this quote, "Your desires are not only for you." You know, it takes a weight off your shoulders in
Yeah.
a way.
Yeah.
It just lets you walk forward
Yeah.
along the path of your desires, of the things you want. There's no shame in that.
Right.
Go
Yeah.
for it. You want to be an actor. You want to be a star. You want to be an influencer, which I don't. Okay,
I
Spirit.
got you. Yeah, pop off.
I'll post on social
I'm
media
about to
this
say.
week. Good
He
grief.
was like, ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding.
But I also was going to say I don't mean that necessarily in that sense of
Right.
the social media stuff, but that word is interesting. Influencer. You want to have influence.
Right.
Yeah, it is.
You know, why? And become the type of person who is worthy of having it. And yeah, it's just an interesting.
Yeah, you do become someone different when you commit to those desires. When you say, I am going to follow this passion, and I am going to trust that in doing so, I will be able to contribute even more of my best self to the world, and that will, because I have the desire to help people, have the desire to build schools, I have the desire to give back, then it will inevitably coalesce. And my expansion towards the desires of acting or rapping or singing or writing, directing, whatever it is, will still lead me to another desire I have, which is to help people.
And be more in a better position to effectuate more change
Absolutely.
for more people. It's like, that's why I think living your best life, like Keanu Reeves can help so much more people in his current carnation, most likely than he would have been able to working at Subway his whole life. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sure.
Just by living his best life and pursuing his dreams, and that applies to everybody. So it's like by doing that and giving into that indulgence and realizing your desires are not just for you, it kind of speaks to the way that I feel like the creative process is, which is, you're talking about the spirit speaking to you. It's almost like, or like the muse, it's like you're a vessel, or at least I think like the best creation comes when you kind of like get out of the way, right? And you just let that universe speak through you, and you just kind of like capture it as it's coming through.
It's an exciting way to live also.
Oh, absolutely.
As you're on
It's
the
fun.
path, you haven't gotten any of the things you're working toward yet. You're working so hard. I was going to say this too. It's going to take more work than you hope it would. Like, no one cares, work harder. It's like, I've been in LA 2025 now, so 14 years in July.
Yeah. Congratulations.
14 years just in the trenches, doing the things, doing the auditions, doing the side gigs, working on the self, pursuing the dreams, really that girl that I described to you 10 years ago that did the demo and sent it to also, I just love that girl, right? Shout out to that girl.
That girl is lit.
Lit.
That girl is lit.
Go
That
get
girl is
it.
so lit.
And it's 10 years later now, and it's still not as though somebody was handing me my dream role in a really cool movie where I got to act with Michael Madsen.
Right.
Nobody did that for me.
Right.
So I had to sit down and do it. And then we revised the script for a year to make it the best that it could be. There were sessions where, actually, I really just have to really give credit to my husband for this, because he is so hardworking and he just has a very powerful brain that really pushes forward. But there were moments where he sat me down and he's like, no one is going to call your phone. No one is going to give this to you. If you want to do this, if you want this life that you dream of, you need to do it every day like you're obsessed with it, like it's not a chore. And I was like, oh my God, you're right. And it just infused me and us with a deeper level of commitment to the work, a deeper level of obsession. And we still don't know what's going to happen. We hope the movie will go amazing places, but I just use this as an example of it's really devotional.
Yeah.
When you're on this path that we've been talking about this whole time, and it's a devotional relationship to your own actualization, to being the biggest version of yourself. This version of Keanu Reeves versus the one in Subway.
Yeah. I love Subway Keanu Reeves though.
Me too.
He's still a great guy.
I love all the Keanu Reeves.
I love Chick-fil-A Keanu Reeves.
He would probably serve some greater purpose at that Subway somehow, you know?
I'm sure he would.
Very Neo.
He'd be like, have a blessed day.
Yeah, he would somehow influence just as much as he does now from his Subway. You know, I have loved this so much, and I'm so excited for whatever your film will do as far as the goals and dreams you guys have. I'm excited to watch it. It'll be so fun.
Yeah, I'll definitely invite you guys to screening.
Please
Absolutely.
do. That'd be such a pleasure.
And it's so cool to dissect a movie from this perspective, from the perspective of its creation and its service. What it did for you to arrive to it, what it's doing for you now to complete it, what it did for the people involved, the other actors. It's really like we had a couple guests, Jake and Connor Lawler. They're the Lawler Bros, and they're filmmakers, good buddies of ours. And we talked movies for a long time because they're both screenwriters, and that's their thing. And it's almost like we talked movies in the like about the movie sense, and then this is really like dissecting filmmaking and the massive endeavor it is to make a film, to produce it, to cast it, to get the crew together, to schedule it, to do all of it. And then to see it through. See it through to the end and tie a bow on it, and like it is very much like birthing a child.
Yeah,
But
it is.
the parts of
The things we carry. Sometimes you're carrying a child. Sometimes you're carrying.
Exactly. Sometimes you're carrying a weapon.
Yeah. Sometimes you're just folding up the loobies.
I think that's a good moment for us to take a stoke break. Elizabeth Grullón, I can't wait to get into a lot more stuff after the break.
Me too.
If you're at home and you're listening, keepers, thank you so much for being here. Remember to drink water.
Remember to get enough salt.
Remember to get enough sleep. Get better sleep if you need that. Schedule yourself.
Remember, if you have your own fire at home during the stoke break, don't leave it unattended.
Do not leave a fire unattended.
Make sure someone keeps their eyes on the
Make sure
fire.
you're safe. Make sure you don't have any missed calls or whatever you need to do. And we'll be right back after the stoke break.
We'll be right back.
Hear that story.
It's you know, I think it's a story. I love you, Molly. Thank you.
I know.
It's
She's so sweet.
It's a story for a time in the future when I am engaged again with tennis, and
okay.
that is a forward part of my life. Right now, it is on like a side burner. I'm still training and practicing, but I think it'll be something I dissect eventually and unpack eventually.
Yeah.
But uniquely, golden link in my every man is a golden link in the chain of my good.
Yeah.
That falling apart in the way that it did further inspired me towards Keepers of the Fire. It further deepened my devotion to keeping my own fire alive. It felt actually, because of that experience, like I lost touch with my flame for a little while.
You did. It was very distinct.
Yeah.
Like it was, as someone who knows you, it's like is in touch with you on a regular basis. It was like a light switch, you know?
Yeah. When that was no longer the healthiest thing for me to be doing, it threw me into a weird place for like a month and a half. Chemically, I was like sleeping way more than I planned to, and then sleeping not at all, and then just like having random, fits of emotional fluctuations. And either way, the creating of this podcast and the curating of the energy in this space and the collaboration with everyone involved, and the base fact of keeping a fire and like the safety behind keeping a fire, the care you take, the sacred intentions you put towards it, all of that bled into my life. And it was like, oh, right, this is how to remain at stasis. This is how to keep my light burning in a way that is healthy, and I'm not going to burn out, right? And like burn, and then I'm gone, right? Like hard and fast. And I'm also not going to dim my light.
Right. Like how to sustainably keep your fire in a healthy way that's replicable.
Yeah.
Have you ever considered, or do you ever think about how much of what you're feeling or going through is yours, or how much of it is someone else's?
Yeah, I do. I once you start doing whatever forms of therapy you might get into, mine was talk therapy. That was the original form of therapy I started. And you start to dissect and unpack certain wounds you have and where they came from, and whose voice you hear, who's telling you this is how you should or shouldn't be, and whose influence on your emotions are what, now make you feel certain ways about yourself, about the world, about, money, success, life, relationships, friends. It's like, oh, that's not mine. What is mine? What is my opinion of this? What is my heartfelt feeling towards this thing or this person? And we do that often. We carry, I mean, that's like a part of also generational trauma and that kind of stuff. We carry it in our bones. We carry it in our blood, in our muscles, in our body.
Would you consider yourself a highly sensitive person?
Very much so. Very much so.
I would consider you that too. In the time we've spent together.
I was just thinking of describing you the other day to somebody, and like I used the word sensitive.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. For some reason, that came to mind.
I also recently used sensitive when someone asked me, and I said, I don't know, I'm very sensitive. And I'd never said that out loud because I think so much of my life.
It's so lovely.
I worked so hard not to be considered sensitive.
Yeah.
And it came out so naturally, and I felt so like, oh yeah.
You know what?
And if we think
sensitive.
I'm a sensitive guy.
if we think of sensitive not only in the emotional sense,
right,
but sensitive as in like a sensitive antenna or sensitive to stimulus, sensitive to information that's coming in,
like an acuity,
nonverbal information, energy.
Yeah. Perceptive.
Which in that sense, it's actually kind of cool if you don't just think of it as like I'm sensitive, but it's like I am a sensitive being. I'm picking up on a lot right now. Like it's a little bit of a different tone.
Yeah.
But the reason I ask is because there is this incredible teacher I love called Mariam Hasna. She's like out there, easy to find. And I think I learned this from her. She talks a lot about this, but I've been thinking a lot about this idea of like sometimes if you have an interaction and afterward you're feeling like, not sleeping or like sleeping all day or like you feel really put off by it, that might actually not be any mon thing at all.
Right.
It's their energy.
Absolutely.
Right.
And sometimes I've realized this, sometimes what I'm feeling often in my times of suffering is the other person's internal world. That's what it feels like to be in them.
The energy they bring.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what their internal world is like.
Yeah. It's like they're playing.
My heart's pounding. My stomach is in nuts. I feel so much rage. I've had interactions with, and I'm telling you, it could be beloved people in your life, people you're very close with.
Yeah.
But that was a big awakening for me to discover I can stop blaming myself for everything. It's not Elizabeth is so sensitive that she is upset because this person wronged or lied or snaked or whatever. Yeah. It's actually like there's like a transmission that can happen.
Yeah.
And protecting those energetic boundaries is lit.
Yeah. It is. Well, it's like you drew attention to the word like influencer earlier and like how like interesting that is. It's because like everyone's kind of an influencer on each other.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like that's why that cliche of you're the average of the top 5 people you spend the most time around, I think, is really so true. But it also works like on the other end of the spectrum where it's like not only do you soak up positive attributes from like, cool people you aspire to be like, but if your orbit crosses orbits with someone who is, to use a podcast term with anger manu, or on the dark side for Star Wars fans, then you can, soak up that energy too. They can influence you. But then I think those moments are opportunities for you to learn something ultimately. So it's like, you know, like it's a teaching experience for like always, because like, how do I move differently after this going
It's
forward?
such a teaching experience. And the thing that there is to learn is where in me, in my aura, was there a little hole that allowed for that fucking bullshit to get in and upset me.
Yeah.
There's some little lapse there.
Yeah.
And it's a lifelong journey.
It's like that's like chisels out.
I wish I could tell you after, over 10 years of practicing that I've mastered it, but boy, am I just beginning.
I remember one time I was like 10 years old. My dad was like, we were talking about meditation and like enlightenment and stuff. And my dad was probably like in his 50s. And I'm 10. And I was like, Dad, I have a question. And don't take this the wrong way. But like, you know, like if you've been studying meditation, all this stuff you're teaching me about achieving enlightenment your whole life, how come you still exhibit so much behavior that's, I don't know, unenlightened?
What's the word?
What did he say? And he was like laughing. He took it as a good sense of humor. And that's a good question. He's like, well, like whatever. I forget exactly what he said, but something about everything's a work in progress. But always like served to me like as a like a moment in my life where I kind of like realized like, well, even my dad, he's like so much decades older. Right. Like you never really cross a finish line necessarily. You know, rather it is this, you know, like you're saying, an evolution of yourself.
Yeah, that evolution is fascinating because it feels like sometimes, and by the way, you brought up Star Wars. I really want to get into some Star Wars in a second, but I'll get there. During this evolution of healing is kind of what I'm going to use as the descriptor, the healing evolution, the healing process. You learn these parts about yourself. You witness the gaps that let things in, or I would frame it sometimes as like, okay, if this is a reflection of something that exists within me, what is that from? Where did it originate? And if I no longer accept that in my life, then it shouldn't be present in my life. And so are there boundaries I need to set with certain people or certain environments that further deepen my devotion to no longer accepting that as part of my, regular life?
Yeah.
And in that process, I feel like I've come to points in my life, almost little chapters or eras where I'm like, oh, woo, that was everything on the docket. I'm all cleared up. I'm all good. I'm vibing. And then I vibe for like anywhere from a month or even sometimes a day or like 3 months I've had or like 4 months I've had where I'm just like the whole time I'm like, man, I figured it out. Life's good. I did it. I ascended. Yeah. And then it's like life will ask of you more than you've been giving. And it's like, it's time now for you to be grander. And you're called to these new things. And these new things then bring up other things that you didn't know were present.
New frontiers.
New frontiers. And you're like, oh, I'm back.
Exactly.
I'm doing this work again. But you're like, but I know this work is fruitful. I know this work is the work of the collective, the work of God. And okay, I know that this is my path. It just sometimes you do feel like, God, I gotta do this again. Yeah. And it's totally different realm or reason, but like, okay. I
had a teacher, a friend of mine, Jamie Wozni. She described it to me once as growth is like a spiral staircase. So you are ascending, but you're lapping over the same sort of area. Like the lesson, it's the same lesson that you've learned it before, but now you're seeing it from a slightly higher, one level up. And I found that to really be true. And then just in terms of if this is coming up, it's a reflection of me somehow. So maybe I need to, I've worked with that languaging for a long time, and I think it's a little bit, it's a little bit self-blaming sometimes for sometimes people's like psychotic behavior.
For sure. I've definitely taken it on and taken blame on that wasn't.
Right.
Later on I come
That's
to find
a delicate
like, wait.
balance for the one who walks the path, because we are devoted to learning, so sometimes we can accidentally fall into a space where we're like blaming ourselves for bad behavior or like gaslighting ourselves. And we don't want to do that.
No.
But languaging that I find helpful is like, maybe this thing will keep showing up in my life, but it won't bother me anymore. So this person who comes and has really, really bad behavior, has like a ton of unprocessed anger and anxiety, and like has a hairline trigger, and like I am around them and I feel so anxious, and then I feel all their energy and their feelings because I'm sensitive, and then boom, the trigger goes off, and now they act in a certain way that now makes me angry. And this is a very real example I'm using, by the way. And yeah, there may be people who you may not be able to never be around, like family members.
Yeah,
Sure.
And so it's maybe not necessarily, it is a reflection of Elizabeth, but I like to think of it as where's the gap? Where am I getting hooked? You know, and why? And that's the piece that's sort of reflecting. But if I can work with that, and sometimes you just have to kind of fake it until you make it. Like just unhook and just walk away, just distract, just go, I'm gonna run to the restroom. I'm tired. I'm gonna go take a shower. I'll be back. Like just like remove yourself. Like you don't have to feel it.
Right.
All the time, but anyway, is any of this making sense? It's just like a
definitely.
nuanced way of dealing with.
It's similar in process. Like if I no longer want this to affect me the way it does, what could I do to lessen its effect on me? And that's one of those things is, I can remove myself from this space.
Absolutely.
Or, I could remove them from my space. Like they don't need to be in my life.
And what's really it's very helpful for me lately is I can remove myself without moving physically.
Right. Yeah. Oh,
Jedi.
I love disengaging emotionally.
Yes.
Disassociation is my
Emotional,
pastime,
energetic withdrawal. Like the cave doors are closed.
Someone knows. Yeah, exactly. It's like it's a tranquility to it. Well, I think it's kind of like you feel good taking control of your life, and only like when's the right moment for that with any given relationship, because there's like a million different factors. But like when you come to that conclusion that like continuing to interact with somebody isn't going toward your best self and it's causing you like reliably causing you distress and like negativity, and you just eventually have this epiphany like, oh, it's like. And like, right, like, and it's a thing where it's like, no, I'm never going to see them again because we might be in like a similar circle or at certain events, but it's just like, you just have a wall where you just don't care anymore, and there's a peace in that, you know?
Exactly. There's freedom.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
freedom.
I think one way that I've found in trying to find those gaps, so like when someone does get under your skin, is I forget where I think I read it in the book, The Untethered Soul.
One of my favorites.
Oh, no way. I'm rereading it right now.
Journey.
I love that.
Deep.
Let's go. I think I read this in there, but like, if something is triggering to you, or you're having a negative response, or you feel yourself taking on the energy of, something that feels like it's disrupting your peace, you're experiencing a negative emotion, ask yourself, what part of me is this triggering? You know, and if you keep asking, it's a really interesting way to process life, you know, because like if you like don't get like a promotion or something and you feel bad, and you take that inquisitive moment to look inside and be like, well, what does this feel bad? Like it might be, well, it makes me feel like I'm not smart, or I'm not capable, or I'm not going to be able to provide, you know, I'm never going to advance, I'm stuck, you know, and that which makes me feel claustrophobic, and it's really an existential thing about what am I doing with my life, and that, you know what I mean? But if you keep like asking yourself that, like having that response when you come into contact with those negative emotions, then it kind of like helps, like you start naturally like therapizing yourself.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
And then, of course, in the moment, it's nearly impossible. You're like, this person is wrong. They're bad.
Yeah, for sure.
That's why I'm triggered, you know?
Yeah.
But then when you hit those strides and those pockets of those maybe sustained moments of peace and freedom, it's so clear. You're like, oh yeah, I'm choosing what to cling to and bump up against and get upset about.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, it's
c'est la vie, hein?
C'est la vie. C'est la belle vie.
Oui, c'est la vie. Yeah. We need to go back to France. When was the last time you were there?
Recently for Christmas.
You had Christmas in France?
Yeah, pour Noël, oui. My husband, mon marié, est français.
Ooh la la.
Oh, c'est vrai.
Oui, de Paris.
À Paris?
Oui.
Oui, oui.
So we just also got married in the south of France 3 months ago. No, wait, I'm
Beautiful.
5 months pregnant. Hold on. Now, don't get excited, y'all. This is not tea. It's just bad math.
It's not that deep.
September, we got married, and yeah, so I guess now it's February. So a few months ago, anyway. So yes, we spent a lot of time there. But yeah, you guys got to go back.
Gotta go back. Where, if you're down to disclose where you had the wedding, it looked beautiful from the photos. It looked like, by the way, seeing that all unfold online and seeing you post everything about it, I was like, gosh, that's the most Elizabeth wedding I've ever seen.
Really?
I don't know how much you went into like saying I would like my wedding to be this way and intentionally picking it, but I just, from what I feel of you as a human, I'm like, oh, this woman feels elegant and like you have this aura of luxury is how I feel about it. I know. You have this like energy.
I feel that.
Merci
This
beaucoup.
regal energy.
Yeah.
And then I see this and it's this like gorgeous country. I'm like, oh my God, that is it looks like a royal wedding. It's like
Like the
it just
perfect
looked
wedding.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you
Yeah,
for
for
saying that. So many of the things you say are the ways you see me. Like when earlier you were talking about my work and sort of the range and stuff like that. I'm just quietly taking it in because it may seem natural to you or like, oh, this is so Elizabeth, but actually from my entry point into this world to this place is such a wild and epic journey. Like I'm so proud of, there's been so much growth and with the work and acting stuff, so much perseverance, and even also with the personal relationship stuff, you know what I mean? Like so much growth and learning to say no and ask for better, and then learning to say no to even what's good and asking for what's really great, you know, like
What's ideal?
really staying on the path of like the highest vision for my life. And that wedding was such a pinnacle landmark moment of arrival, of
like, symbolically.
manifestation of vision, walking through the path of vibration.
Yeah.
And yet I just manifested the ever-loving shit out of it, the whole thing. Like,
So the answer is I put a lot into that.
yeah, quite a bit, but not effort,
Right.
Yeah.
no
But
strain.
intention,
Effortless
feeling.
No
manifestation.
anxiety. You always hear about brides who are like, they've lost a ton of weight or their
Right.
hair is falling out from the stress. I was like, do. Let's go. What are we doing? Chilling.
Yeah, completely comfortable.
Yeah. And there was a
Enjoying
lot
it.
of, just joy. And it all really fell into place really beautifully. But a lot of synchronicities and just special moments. One main one that I'll mention is the place where we got married you were asking about.
Yeah.
Is just 5 minutes from the train station in this little city called Toulon. And I found this venue that is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. It's just out of a dream, private beaches and swimming pools, and 40 of our guests stayed for 4 nights. Wow. Like there was a vintage sailboat. They took out the whole family. Like it was literally, am I awake right now? This is like a movie. Yeah. But it just coincidentally, and I didn't plan this, it was 10 minutes away from where my husband spent all his summers as a child, from his grandmother's house, which they just sold. It was 10 minutes away. So for their whole family, it was a very special, it smelled like their childhood, and they know the area really, really well. And it's just those things. It's just those little things that you just go, wow, thanks, God.
Thanks, God.
Yeah, thank you for bringing me this.
Yeah. Lucky. And thanks, Elizabeth.
Thank you.
Thank you
For walking the path.
Thank you for following the vibrational path.
Yeah, you're really out here, sis.
Out in France on your
You're
wedding
really
day.
doing
You're really
this
out
shit.
here right now.
I'm like,
for real.
I'm really out here, like,
wedding dress. You're looking in the mirror. You really do this shit.
You really do this.
Fuck right now. You really get married as fuck.
Yeah.
You really hopped off the porch.
Yeah. Like I don't come
you know.
from that, you guys. Like I'm a skinny little Dominican girl from Queens, New York.
Say it.
Yeah.
You know, my parents are immigrants.
Yeah.
They learned English like on the job.
go.
You
After
know,
the fact.
like so many firsts in my family, and you know, I'm probably definitely the first like artist, like the first person who stepped away from like being like a blue collar or just your traditional
9 to 5.
person who, you know, first person who was like, I can be an actor. Like
Yeah.
my entire family tree was like, huh?
All your ancestors like,
What's
Yeah.
that?
let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go finally.
Let's do it finally.
Yeah.
And like, you know, my parents are my heroes, but you know, we always were budgeted down to the dollar and
sure.
paycheck to paycheck and like making it work and put it public schools. You know, your girl was not in France. Okay. No, there were no sailboats. So I appreciate you saying that because I think you see me in this vision of how, which is my vision also for myself. And it's beautiful when that
Yeah.
meets reality.
Yeah. Well, congrats on a beautiful wedding and it all crystallizing for you. It's what you deserve. It is who you are. You know, it is
Thank
the
you.
unfolding of your truest self and made manifest. It's a beautiful thing to hear about, even as inspiration. Like, right.
Yeah.
We are expanding into these
Yeah.
visions of ourselves.
And you were talking about the divine counterpart earlier.
Right.
I also feel like the wedding is for me, it was such a doorway. It was a portal. It's
Yeah.
a threshold.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like a wedding. You know?
Yeah, you were
It
walking.
had-
Just any event.
It had energetic and spiritual implications
Right.
for me as a woman
Yeah.
and as a soul.
Yeah. It's
Molly, are you supposed to be eating that?
She's not. She be
Molly, what did we
she be
say
eating.
about eating wood on the podcast? She
Will you
thinks
put
she's a
more wood,
termite.
Journey?
What's that?
Will you put more wood?
absolutely.
But yeah, it was so you were saying it was like a threshold. You getting married was
It was a moment. You have to get there. There's an evolutionary path that leads up to that portal, and then you have to walk through it, and then it's just that's just the beginning
right.
of the rest of your life.
Right.
But there was a lot of like emotional healing and work and learning to trust and oh my goodness, layers upon layers of personal growth inside of this relationship. So much beautiful healing, and as you know, healing is not always like gentle. So sometimes it is, and sometimes it's like the fire. It's alchemizing,
Absolutely.
and you're letting
sometimes
past versions of yourself go, letting fears go, and
it can be turbulent.
so it was epic. It really felt epic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Life feels so epic to me. It's very, biblical.
Yeah.
It's like, this is not casual.
And like the transformations you go through.
I'm sure it's not that way for everybody, but for me, it wasn't as simple as just being like, I got a venue.
Yeah.
Like
That was an overhaul.
there was a alchemical process of Elizabeth arriving and becoming the
Yeah.
goddess and the wife, and
yeah.
Becoming the
mother.
goddess.
The
I love
mother.
that.
The
Well, I
mother.
think you're sensitive in the same way we're talking about Iman being sensitive. If you
Yeah,
would agree,
oh my
you know, like
gosh.
you're in
So much
tune
so.
with all that. It's like your wedding doesn't just feel like a party that you're attending. You know, it's like this spiritual transcending. You know, like coming into your fullest expression. It really is like a time, it seems, for you of walking into your fullest expression as someone's wife, as a soon-to-be mother, you know? It's
exactly,
like,
and as an artist.
as an artist.
And that's
yeah.
what my releasing and calling in was really about.
Yeah.
It's that phase.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for being mighty companions on this journey,
Likewise.
Our absolute pleasure.
and for being beautiful reflections.
Oh, likewise. I remember when we bonded. We're watching these embers, by the way. Don't you
Yeah,
worry.
we're keeping
Okay,
an eye
great,
on
thank
it.
We're
you.
keeping our eye on the ones that are popping. When we bonded over in at the event, Voices Against Cancer,
Yeah.
we spoke about the process of finding our characters, you for the things we carry, and even the writing process of that, and how, you mentioned spirit seemed to ask you to speak through you. And my story
You
is,
remembered that?
of course, us outside. That was one of the highlights of that whole trip. It was. I told friends about it. I said, yeah, I met this incredible artist, and
Yeah.
I met her there. I'd never seen her work, but we bonded straight away through this process because of my story with Ezra. I mean, it has like a fantastical nature to it. It is like speaking in the realm of like channeling and ghosts and spirits and voices. And
I'm assuming you've told the story on the podcast.
Yeah, I was just about to say, have we? I think that'd be interesting to.
I don't know. Have I?
Then you have to tell it.
Wow, I've not told the story on the podcast. You want to know something fascinating that's coming up lately is I've seen people's reactions to the story online. Like, I've seen so many reactions now.
To this story?
Because, they've told this story at panels.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And the story, so it goes back to feeling like life is epic and biblical and some sort of unfolding of a master plan or prophecy. I don't shy away from talking about that kind of stuff because it is as interesting to me as I think it is relevant for people to hear. It's like, there are going to be moments in your life that feel quite literally biblical, that feel and are prophecy unfolding in the adventure of your personal evolution.
Yeah.
And some people don't phrase it that way. It's too serious or too rooted in the stigma behind the religions or Bibles or anything like that. But I wasn't raised religious in that way at all. So to me, coming to moments like this and having these discoveries and experiences, I'm like, that's just what I'm going through. And when you sign up to be an artist, and sign up, when you're called to be an artist and express yourself and share yourself, there becomes it begs that question of like, right, how much of yourself will you share?
Right.
And will you share all of yourself, or will you share muted or redacted versions of yourself? And so much of like what you said you're doing of opening up and sharing more of who you are and your spirit was what I think even opened me up to the possibility of this story, which was that I'd never seen much Star Wars in my life. I saw Revenge of the Sith when I was a kid. That's cool. And then I had quit acting right before the pandemic. I had been acting for, I think, 5 years at the time, 4.5 years, 5 years. And I was in LA 2.5 of those years, and really didn't book anything narratively. I booked some commercials here and there, but nothing that was like acting, in my opinion, and fulfilling in the narrative sense or the purpose-driven sense. And was just doing music under Dragon Wolf. And but I was having a very spiritual experience. I was like having, numbers and signs and dreams and visions, and I was like feeling presences and had moments like that with an ex of mine, or someone who had passed away, one of her friends who had passed away earlier, spoke through me, used my voice, my body, to speak to her. It took me by surprise, scared the shit out of me. It was the most emotional thing I had ever felt. But the girl I was with understood what was happening, which was fascinating and very comforting as well. And then I sort of put that away, but knew like, okay, something's changed. And that happened for sure. Like, I don't care who or what believes me, because I know what just happened to me.
Yeah.
And I'm not insane. Like, I have a solid take on this reality. And that happened for real, right? Yeah. I'm in my right senses, and I know that happened. But then, it became a thing in my life. I spoke to some mediums and to some psychics and talked to them about the experience, and they were like, well, this is a path that's opened up for you, and it's your choice whether or not you want to follow it and be a medium, be a psychic, be someone who channels. And I was not really excited about that. I was like, I don't really want to do that.
Not really my vibrational path.
Not my vibrational path. But then I came to the conclusion that, like, the closest thing I'd ever felt to it was acting, and only acting in the sense where, like, the best work I ever did felt like I was doing nothing at all. Like I was handing the remote controller of Iman as Fondi to some character, to some energy, to some spirit, and they would do it. And then cut. Iman, that was great. Oh my gosh, this was great. I love that you did that. That was awesome. I'm like, barely remember even I'm like, did I do that? That's cool.
Yeah.
And they're like, can you do a little this, a little that? I'm like, sure. And then it's almost like internally, I'm like, you heard that?
Yeah,
Right.
you got
Do it
those
that
notes.
way.
You get the
Spirit?
notes? They said, a little less on this, a little more on that. Or they loved it, whatever it was.
Does the character communicate back to you in a dialogue in those moments? Or is it just like an unspoken,
it's more like a feeling, but
Yeah.
I did truly feel like I was having a dialogue with Ezra. One day, I'm online, I see something about Space Aladdin going viral. Some picture of an older depiction of this character that they're saying, Space Aladdin. And the guy who played Aladdin was going viral to play some character. I don't know the name of this character, I'm just seeing this picture. The picture is a mock-up by Pandora Young Art. And we can post the picture on here, but it looks a lot like I do with long hair and a beard. And I'm looking at this picture like, that I look like that. Like,
Yeah, it
this
looks familiar.
uncanny
Yeah.
how much I look like this character. What is this? Ezra Bridger, Star Wars. I'm like, what's that? So I go to sign in on my TV, or not sign in, I go to watch this show, Rebels. There's this animated series, 4 seasons, Disney show called Star Wars Rebels, and Ezra Bridger is the protagonist. So I'm like, what is this? Let me go look into this. And I had been done with acting at the point, but I had, after about like an 8-month break, come back to it with the intention that like I'll only act if it's in the form of service. If I'm channeling something for the higher good, and I'm that connected to this character that it chooses me, and it says, okay, I want to come alive through you, then it doesn't feel like acting anymore, right? It feels like channeling. It
Yeah.
feels like
Being the vessel.
being the vessel.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
I'm exhilarated to do, right? But going out and chasing roles that don't feel aligned to me and trying to just mold myself into something.
Those days
Right.
are over.
They're over. They're over.
Yeah.
So this I was feeling aligned to go look into. And then it almost felt like I was being guided. And then I remembered back then I was broke. I had no money. I didn't have many subscriptions. I didn't have like YouTube
Right,
or
every-
Such a funny way to
Disney.
describe like
I had Netflix. I was already probably behind on a payment, and I had phone service and Wi-Fi and that kind of stuff. So I was like,
Yeah.
limited options back then. And I'm like, oh no, Disney Plus. It's on Disney Plus. I don't have Disney Plus. Why would I? And then I go to look at Disney Plus, and mind you, I bought this Fire Stick for my TV. I bought the Fire Stick that you plug in and makes it a smart TV. I purchased this thing. So no one signed in on this thing that would never have been me. I've only ever
Right.
lived in my own home.
Oh yeah, this is so crazy.
And then there's a family logged into Disney Plus, and it's the Walker family. And at first, I don't even notice the
I know the
correlation of the
Walkers.
Walker family. I'm just like, the Walker family? Who is the Walker family? And I'm trying to remember, like, who could have signed in on my Disney Plus that is the Walker? I don't know anyone Walker. So then I got
This is
on.
so wild.
And I remember thinking, okay, clearly the path is opening up here.
Yeah.
So let me go to watch this show. And within the first 5 minutes of watching the show, it was as if, this is the way it felt. It was as if someone materialized right next to me. Like right here, if someone went, zoop, and you couldn't see them, but they were just full as day. And I was like, I pause. And I'm kind of like,
goodness.
okay, Ezra? And it's like a knowing, and it felt like Ezra was like, yeah, you know who it is. Like, you know what's going on.
You know what this
Wow.
is.
And I had that experience with a different historical figure who is very much someone that lived in the world that we all agree exists. He's a historical person. And so I knew the feeling and I knew this dialogue experience, but this was an animated character.
Yeah.
So
Right.
my initial instinct was like, maybe I am kind of crazy. Because now it's not a real ghost. Now it's not the
Yeah.
ghost of someone who died. It's this animated character.
Were you seeing him visually?
No.
Gotcha. It's just like this feeling that
This
of
feeling
presence.
of someone there.
Okay, yeah.
Energy.
Energy,
We
yeah,
close
yeah.
our eyes. We could kind of feel where we all are. It felt like that.
Gotcha.
And so I'm like, okay. And my initial kind of question internally is like, aren't you like
make
come on,
believe.
aren't you an animation? You know?
Right.
Aren't you a cartoon, brother? And I'm like, aren't you? And the answer was like so like clear. It felt like it was just like an amalgamation of the idea that even when you write a character, you're channeling spirit.
Yeah.
And so there's a spirit to the character, like you did, and the alignment with your guys.
Yes.
You're channeling these spirits, right?
Yes.
And they
so
exist.
they're not imaginary.
They're not imaginary.
Yeah.
They exist, and they exist. In this analogy, it's very easy to understand. Ezra Bridger exists as a real person in the universe of Star Wars.
Right.
Very much a real and very sort of important part of the story.
In the sense, yeah, very like a real entity.
A real
that
entity
exists in the cosmos.
So that kind of just gets right away brushed aside, like, you know, all spirits are real in character. I'm like, right. Okay. Are you, and in my head, I'm like, I made the agreement that I would be willing to be an actor for things that I'm connected to spiritually. And I'm like, okay, so are you here because you want me to be you, or you want to play through me? And it's like, and the answer was almost like like he sent me the feeling of how it's going to feel to play him. And the overwhelming feeling I got was like, it is going to be one of the coolest things you could ever do with your life.
Yeah.
You are going to be so happy, so fulfilled, so excited, and perfect for it. And that was how it felt, like washed over me. And I was like, oh. And he was like, but it is your boundary that I must ask permission.
Right.
You must accept this.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, yeah, I'm down. Like, you're a Jedi? Like,
Yeah.
I accept.
I don't know much about Star Wars, but I accept, you know?
Accept
And
your
so we have
quest.
this, like, to me, it felt like we spiritually dapped it up. I remember physically being like, word. And then
Wow.
the immediate inspiration was like, okay, now go send pictures of you and me, the animated version of me, to your agent and manager and tell them what's going to happen.
So he gave you directives.
Yes. And I
Wow.
emailed them. And this is, again, hadn't booked with them for 3 years. I've been
Yeah.
with these actor and manager 3 years. I ain't never booked anything.
Right.
And I'm saying, hey, whenever they cast for Ezra Bridger, use these photos. I'm going to play him in live action. They don't know who Ezra Bridger is either. They're like, what is going on?
Right,
And I say
right.
it's Star Wars, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And they go, hey, how did you find out about this? Or what's your, I said, it's just a gut feeling. It's one of my spiritual things. And then my manager calls me. And him and I are very close. And we have conversations like this openly, right?
Okay.
About spirituality, about these weird experiences we've had in our lives, dreams, visions, stuff like that. So he's like, hey, is this one of those things? And I'm like, yeah, it is actually. And we'll find out, how real it is or not later. And he was
Put
like, cool,
yourself out
I
there.
hope so. I love
Yeah.
Star Wars. And there was nothing to do. They didn't do anything with these pictures. There was no...
Because this project and this
It didn't
character
even-
didn't even exist yet.
Didn't exist. It didn't exist. And sure enough, like 6-8 months later, I get an anonymous audition.
What?
And it's NDAs and fake scenes, dummy sides.
Right.
And my agent and manager are like, hey, we think this might be the character you sent us about all that time ago.
Yeah.
And in the meanwhile, I booked an A24 movie and
Sick.
acted in that. So it was on a break between that movie. So it was interesting because other things were starting to explode in my life
Yeah.
that I was getting feelings of prior. And so it was already sort of like happening in the way that this was expressing itself. But,
Yeah.
I was just becoming accustomed to this. So then when that came, I was already like, oh, of course. And I remember feeling like as I'm reading the character description, Ezra showed up.
Yeah.
And Ezra was just like in the room, like, you ready? And I was like, oh my God, yeah, we're back in business. I'm glad you're back. I was wondering where you
Amazing.
went. Sent them a message like, this is what it is. I'll tape it tomorrow. Next day I tape it. Normally I used to take multiple takes for auditions at self-tapes,
Sure.
2 scenes, did the first scene in the first take and was like, yeah, I guess my friend was like, that was pretty damn good. I was like, all right, let's, reluctantly was like, let's go to the next scene, I guess.
Wow.
And then I do the second scene again, first take, and then I'm like done, and I'm like, and it felt like that was it.
Yeah.
I remember feeling like, all right, Ezra, do it, like you do it, you know, I'm open,
Yeah.
and it just happened.
Yeah.
And then after, I was like, maybe we should do a second take just in case, and he was like, sure. And halfway through that second take, Ezra,
You're like-
it felt like he jumped out. He was like, whoa, why are we doing a second take?
Unnecessary.
I told you.
That's
Yeah.
so
And
lit.
it was, it was like a very intimate experience for me to be having. I was like,
I
what's
love
going on?
the spirit of this character is like, I got it in one.
One take Ezra.
I'm really about this shit, dude. I am Ezra.
I am a Jedi. Jedis don't take.
Jedi's don't really do
Multiple
two
takes.
takes, my boy.
Like, what?
You gotta
catch
have to
up.
get rid of this whole two take thing, dude. One take
Yeah,
Tommy over here.
like, it's called confidence. Google it.
Wear it, dog.
It's called confidence. Wear it. And so then I sent in those takes, and then within a couple days, they just completely confirmed the role. No callback, no anything. They just were
Holy,
like,
that's
that.
crazy.
Yep. And I remember
That never happens.
Doesn't happen.
Certainly not with Star Wars. It usually takes months of
Right.
sending it to so many teams,
and this
getting
is
so many people to approve it.
Yep, and this is a character that had already existed in animation.
wild.
And people already loved him, have his action. Like, he exists deeply. They need to be very certain of who
Right,
they're choosing
right.
for a live action adaptation.
Oh my
and
goodness.
there was a story that Sarah Finn, who casted for this, she mentioned when we met, she was like, by the way, we loved your tape. I watched it with Dave, and within the first 5 seconds, Dave just goes, that's Ezra. Got it. All right. We'll watch it all,
yeah.
but that's Ezra. Like, he just knew. And of course, Dave is the one who originally fostered Ezra, channeled Ezra, raised Ezra.
Yeah.
If he would know his spirit, if anyone would know his spirit, I'm becoming accustomed to Ezra's spirit. I'm like, what's up, dude? You're so funny. And like,
Yeah.
Right,
like,
you're meeting him.
I'm meeting Ezra.
Yeah.
Dave knows Ezra. Dave raised Ezra. And it was like this fascinating.
And when you say raised, do you mean he wrote the character?
Yeah, he wrote Ezra.
Wow.
And he was, show creator of that show that he grows in. And so it was fascinating for that confirmation as well. We're like, oh yeah, the creator of this character recognized it right away.
Yeah.
And so much of that has now obviously unfolded in the way that it has, and we have done season 1, and a lot of the fans, every fan I've met has been super happy with it, and they're all very nice in saying, like, I'm so grateful, Iman, to you for doing your research and making sure you perfected the character.
Yeah.
And it is an interesting thing as an actor to then feel like gratitude towards their reception of your character, but not specifically what they're thanking you for, because the preparation happened unconsciously throughout my entire life to prepare me to play
Right.
Ezra.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Ezra knows who's going to be the perfect person for him to come through. Like, oh,
Right.
this vessel is perfect for me to come through,
It was
Iman,
meant to be.
Yeah.
because of
Yeah, it
his
shows
life
you.
leading him to this moment.
Right. Well, that's what's so interesting about having that experience of the manifestation of Ezra, like before the role was even out, when you're just seeing the vision of it, that it is already there with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it already existed as a, hey, Molly, it already
¿Qué
did it.
pasó, huh?
Yeah, and then like the fact that you actually get it, you know what I mean? That like it aligned up before, like it came to you, and you had that confidence about it, and then you let that express itself in the audition in one single take, and then the guy who wrote the show or wrote the character, saw that and only took 5 seconds to realize like how that all aligns, you know what I mean? And really
Wild.
gives credence to the idea that it kind of like it selected you.
Mind-boggling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that I'm on this episode where you tell the story in full, because I literally will re-listen to the story routinely just to remember the potency of spirit
Yeah.
and prophecy. Like,
Yeah.
what an example of.
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't going to say this, but it is so relevant now when you brought up biblical epicness, right? The other spirit I felt like I communicated with, who came in and kind of like cracked the whip on my life back then, was like, hey, it's time to like get up and build your legacy, build your empire. Cyrus the Great, the founder of the Persian Empire. And I was like, oh, whoa. Like, I like went into a deep dive for 3 days about Cyrus, because it felt like Cyrus was like, hey, watch these things. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
Like, very benevolent, but firm energy is Cyrus.
Yeah.
And so I'm communing with Cyrus, and Cyrus is inspiring me. I'm writing a pilot to play Cyrus.
Great.
And I'm like fully driven, like, oh, clearly this is something I'm meant to do, is I'm meant to bring and channel Cyrus's spirit back into the modern world, the Western world, for them to see the legacy of Persian culture and what Persians brought into the world. Because Cyrus the Great, for those who don't know, was the first ruler to write a human rights resolution called the Cyrus Cylinder. He banned slavery.
Wow.
First time in our human history we have record of that.
Wow.
Literally progressed humanity.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And then it regressed.
And then it regressed.
Took over the Persian Empire. But it's documented. It broke the glass ceiling. There is a world where people can be free and equal. And he allowed everyone to follow their own customs and religions. And anyway, so it inspired me to no end to bring Cyrus to life, whether through me or in some fashion, foster and birth that. Cyrus, I found out later while playing Ezra, is written in the Old Testament. And there's a couple different sections he's in, but this section is the one I found out about. It is written that Cyrus the Great is the anointed one chosen by God to free the Jews from Babylon, which is a historical event. Cyrus conquered Babylon, freed the 40,000 Jews, and helped rebuild all their temples. That happened. And the Jewish people of that time were like, yeah, it was prophecy. Cyrus was chosen by God to come free us. Mm-hmm. And it's written in the book of Ezra.
Oh my God.
In the Old Testament.
Wow.
And I was like, when I found that out, I was like, whoa, okay.
You like closed the book.
I was like, what
closed the computer
is going on, And without it becoming something that, changes the way I don't know, it does change the way I feel about a lot of things, but without letting it become something too grandiose in the sense where I'm like, whoa, this is the prophecy and it's coming around me and more so like, okay, clearly I'm in a divine alignment in playing Ezra, in seeking to tell the story of Cyrus the Great, in following the vibrational path. There's a larger destiny at play. And then learning, which I want to ask you plenty about, all about Star Wars. Gosh, I dove into Star Wars. I realized I am a mega fan. I'm a huge believer in Star Wars as a conduit of goodness. And once I learned all about Star Wars, I was like,
that, a conduit of goodness. That's so true.
That's what it is. Yeah, it's such a special thing. And I realized, oh, yeah, Cyrus would, if somehow could have, instructed me to make a thing like Star Wars with how much good it does, with how much good it spreads, with how much wisdom it shares and love it fosters and multiplies. And so it was fascinating to become then, inducted into this universe and really learn about it and embody it and then represent it in the way that Ezra does. And I wanted to ask you, like, when you got cast for Star Wars, did you know you play Trilla, who is on the dark side?
Right.
And how does that feel as far as embodying this darker energy, this, if we're talking Zoroastrian, the angry man you part of the universe, right?
Yeah.
The dark side of the Force. What was maybe were you a Star Wars fan?
I was like a moderate, like I had seen, the movies since I was a kid and like seen a few of them and stuff, but I definitely don't know like every in and out in detail of the universe. But it was, well, anyway, before I can move on to my story, wow, that is so crazy.
I know.
Yeah.
That is so incredible. Like, and I understand so much what you were saying at the end without becoming too grandiose or thinking like, wow, I am the chosen one. Like, in fact, these moments, if we're paying attention, they have the opposite effect. They're deeply humbling. It's deeply humbling. You're like, oh my God, I'm part of something.
Right. Something bigger than me.
There's a higher intelligence here. Like, you feel very humbled. You really do.
Yeah. Something I think through.
I haven't made this leap yet to share with people or like set up some type of offering or class or something about manifestation. But I always think if I ever did, that would be something that I would talk about a lot, which is that the process of manifestation doesn't bolster your own ego.
Right.
Even if you get all the stuff, literally the fanciest of things.
Yeah.
The process of understanding that you're in relationship with a loving universe that's always listening to you is so humbling. And you realize just that truth is the biggest blessing. It's a bigger blessing than the thing and the job and the car and the house and the thing and the that and the what. Yeah. You know. So I just, wow, what a story.
It's beautiful. I at the beginning, you know how you said you got the Fire Stick that allowed you to watch the Rebels show, right? And it was signed with the Walker family. Yeah. Did you ever think about how that was kind of like Skywalker?
Oh, right. I never finished. I didn't. A fan pointed it out. I told this story at a panel, and they were like, "Walker like Skywalker," and I'm sitting up there like,
"You're a part of something bigger than yourself."
It was like a messenger from the universe,
it's a
just like it was a wink.
I love that expression, cosmic winks.
Yes.
It was a cosmic
That's how it
wink.
feels, like a little like twinkle.
100% Walker. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I know, and I don't have that TV and Fire Stick anymore, but I wish I could go back and see if it's still signed in. I have no idea to this day how that happened.
So cool.
It's just like a little hint of like what was to come.
Yeah.
It's
Like the first little ripple.
And just Star Wars, like, it is, you said it, a conduit of good. It's such an offering for the collective of like these really archetypal themes.
Yeah.
And staying with the light side. And I resonate so much because of my spiritual practice. I always felt so drawn to those aspects of Star Wars, like Yoda and like the meditation, like the character. I loved in our game in Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, like the lead character can just like sit and meditate in a position sometimes to like unlock the next part of the game. Or, you know, those are all little winks for me that it's the type of thing you want to be a part of.
Oh my!
The process of ascendance, almost.
Yeah.
Like using spirituality.
Yeah, and then and along those lines, to go back to your question about Trilla, it's like, this is such a necessary and worthwhile part of the hero's journey that we have to talk about, which is the struggling with your own inner demons and your lower nature. You know, like that is worth exploring. It's not all about the good. Obviously, Star Wars understands that better than anyone. But for me, with the second sister, I had an eerie experience, not on the level of like written in the book of Ezra, Walker Fire Stick. Like that's pretty.
Their summation is perfect. All the points.
The clip notes, listen.
Solid.
Not on that level, but it was still a bit strange. So I got this audition. It was a voiceover audition, but for some reason I had to go in person, which is unusual. And then, I don't know, it was all dummy sides, dummy everything. You know, I had nowhere near it. Did it say Star Wars or anything like that? And I showed up, was like rushing to get in, quickly parked the car, and then looked. I was like, let me just look at this thing. Usually for voiceover auditions, you're in the booth. And you have the script in front of you, so there's no memorization. So I was like, let me just take a quick look at it before I go in. And I went to open it. The email said in all caps, "Please be off book, memorized."
As you're pulling up.
I'm in the parking lot of the audition, and I click on the link, and it's a bad link, error. So I'm like, well, whatever.
Oh man.
So I just go in there. It's kind of like.
I love that. What a fucking move. Well, Whatever.
It's kind of like you were saying before about how being really tired is almost like a freedom.
Yeah.
Not having the material. There was a bad link sent.
Yeah.
I don't know.
is what it is.
There's freedom in that. It's like, I'll read it.
Yeah,
I don't tell you. It's not going to be great.
Yeah,
Like,
you're surrendering to it. You're like,
you're just surrendered.
I'm a part of something bigger than me.
Whatever, yeah. And I didn't even know what it was. It was just a voiceover audition. You get voiceover auditions like 10 times a week.
Couldn't know.
So there's really no attachment to like booking it or anything like that. Yeah. At the time, I was really more attached to like TV auditions. Like, oh my God, I got an audition for this TV show. So this was like, oh, another voiceover thing. Anyway, I go in there. I'm like, hey, the link didn't work. Can I get the script? They give me the script. It's like 7 pages. Yeah. And like several of them are just me talking.
Just monologues.
Like full page monologues, like literally 1.5 pages of monologue. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, I probably should take a peek at this. And then a couple girls come in after me and sign in. And I'm like, you guys go ahead. I just got the script, so I'm just going to take 10. Literally was like that open about it.
Yeah.
And I just sat there for 10 minutes and looked over it. And I think it's another example of what you were saying, which is like when it's for you, everything you've been doing your whole life has been your training for it. So this one, it was written in a very Shakespearean way. There were long soliloquies and it was very musical, the writing. It was excellent writing, which is the biggest thing between good acting and shitty acting. It's just the writing, the quality of the writing.
runway you get to.
That's like 90% of our job. Like, if it's good writing, all I have to do is say it.
Yeah, and it'll be there.
If it's bad writing, I'm not going to be a good actor. Like, I don't, there's nothing I can do. So anyway, this was beautifully written. And because of that, it was really easy to memorize. And it didn't say anything about a British accent, but to me, it was clearly written in a British accent.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Because it was a very floral way of speaking, a way that's very not American.
Yeah.
Sort of just a bit more ornate.
Yeah.
And musical again. So I was like, I'm going to do a British accent. So 10 minutes. And then, the other 2 girls had gone. You could hear everything through the door. And then I went in and I did it. And somehow I was completely off book. And it was like a speech that is later in the game. It's the introduction to the second sister when she arrives on this ship and
Such
sort
an
of
intro.
purveys like.
Is this all of them?
Yeah, exactly. Like surveys all this sort of group of scum in her estimation. And that's like a whole speech about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and then it was several months later, I got a callback, still had no idea what it was for. I felt the callback went really, really, really poorly.
Oh, what? Weird.
Yeah, the director, who he had auditioned me a few times in the past and called me back for other games, but we had never worked together yet. Now he's like a beloved friend and mentor. Yeah. Tom Keegan, shout out Tom, love you. Later he told me something had gone wrong, like I came on the wrong day or something. Oh. I don't remember thinking I came on the wrong day, so maybe it was something on their books or some sort of miscommunication. But he didn't have time for me, so he was trying to get through my appointment. Damn. So I felt like he hates me. He thinks I'm terrible. Like I'm rushed. Yeah. Whatever. And then. No, none of that was true, And then, but it was like a couple months later, they started telling me I was like in strong consideration. It was this really long, in-depth process. And I still didn't know what it was. Finally, I booked it. The day that I booked it, I happened to be working. There's really this side gig that I would sometimes do where they would hire professional actors to come in and do trainings with like upper level management at like really fancy companies like Facebook and Dropbox and SpaceX. Wow. And that specific day that I was, I got the news, I was at SpaceX. Wow. And I was standing underneath a rocket ship. Oh, wow. When I got the text message saying in all caps, you booked it with 25 exclamation points. And I was like, cool. And I looked up, and I was standing underneath the piece of machinery that had been in outer space.
Yeah.
And then it occurred to me I still didn't know what this was. So I asked my agent, by the way, what is it? Star Wars. I was like, wow, no way.
Wow.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that was fun.
I love how when you had the call back and like you had that feeling that it didn't go well.
Yeah.
Right. Because then it's kind of like that feeling of, I can imagine feeling that same exact way, right? You're just like, okay, the vibe was off, it's too fast. And then so you start like, like to make assumptions about the prospects of the whole thing.
Right.
But then I think it's like a beautiful illustration of there still being a path. And even like when like there's like these apparent signs that feel like, okay, maybe this isn't it. It's like, it's still working, you know? Like you don't have to, because I struggle with that a lot. And like looking at things like, okay, that's not gonna, because of that, that means that, you know? And I just like remind myself to like stay on it. So I love that you ended up getting it, even after having that experience. It's like such a testament to like not losing hope, you know?
And you don't know. Your interpretations of reality are wrong.
Often.
They are almost always.
Yeah.
I think this all the time. I feel like the more I've matured, the more I'm like, everything I think is wrong. every thought I have, you know, like every fleeting thought I have about a situation or a person or what's gonna happen turns out to be wrong.
Well, I think that reflects your understanding of like the complexity of reality, because like it's so complex that it's hard to have any thought that's just like purely truth, you know?
And your
because
thoughts are coming from your ego.
Yeah, right.
Which is not wisdom.
It's some interpretation, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just like kind of appearing in there.
Yeah.
And yeah, it likes to be very loud and.
Yeah, but I think there's such a wisdom in finally realizing, oh no, you're wrong.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Yeah.
You think that person hates you, they don't.
Yeah.
They're just late.
It would be really interesting to almost like make to plot the data of like when you make these assumptions, like, oh, okay, like this person isn't responding to my text, that means she hates me or he hates me, or like, oh, this like person, I saw them in the hallway, I smiled at them, they didn't really smile at me, I'm gonna get fired. Like if you kept track of all the times that was incorrect, where everything was fine, or even like to the contrary, that person loves you, or like they texted you back an hour later and like invited you out, or, you know what I mean?
It would be, I think you'd be shocked. I think it'd be 99.9% of the time you were wrong.
Yeah, it's like a good reminder you don't have. It reminds me of one of my favorite quotes ever. I think it was by Mark Twain. It's something like, I've suffered through a great many things in my life, some of which actually happened.
Yeah.
I love that.
That'd be very few.
It's like a recognition of that fact. It's like a lot of like the torment like you can put yourself through is through things that aren't even real.
So it's almost like understanding like I'm blind. I'm shuttered. There's really only so much I could see.
Yeah.
I mean, the more we practice mindfulness, for example, we can touch reality directly without thoughts. That takes a lot of practice, and then you can maybe have some really beautiful insights. We can have wisdom arise from a deeper place, not the thinking mind.
Right.
But and so I accept this blindness because it's by design. Yeah. I'm just a small vessel, tool in this big, beautiful design.
Yeah.
But I know who designed it, and therefore I trust that the path is laid, and there's always a space for me. And,
even though you can't understand everything yet.
In every moment.
You
won't. Maybe after you pass away, maybe you'll get the download.
Yeah, all of a sudden.
To the ocean. A drop returns to the ocean and remembers.
You'll be like, oh my
God,
everything worked out. It was
Whales.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Whales. I forgot about
Whales.
I forgot about seahorses.
Oh my! I think about whales all the time. Side note. That's like my happy thought.
What?
I just had a question related to the game as far as, so did it turn out to not just be a voiceover?
Right.
Right.
Yes. Yes, that was the other thing. When I went into the audition, there was a camera with a tripod and a cassette. It was like an audition. So I realized in that moment it was motion capture, which motion capture, if you have a background in theater, it really would serve that medium because you're working in a volume. It's kind of like being on a stage. You work in the 360. And it's very different from TV and film in that sense. Where in TV and film, you're sort of playing to a camera. In this thing, it's like you're fully alive in your whole body. And so all my theater training came in. And then all that classical training specifically, all that Shakespeare came in. And Yeah, and then I looked at it as far as like exploring the dark side. I looked at it as a really beautiful dive into this delicious evil.
Yeah, shadow realm.
That we, especially as women, but I know it's true for all of us.
Right.
It truly is. It's so real. Like we shudder the shadow and we really banish it. So that we can be like healthy, normal human beings that are like nice to be around.
Yeah.
And have a society. And that's, and just, speaking a little more specifically in terms of being a woman, it's like people pleasing has been such a massive part of my journey, overcoming people pleasing. And then this was an opportunity to get to play a woman who was anything but a people pleaser.
Definitely not a people pleaser.
Murderer.
People displeaser?
Diabolical.
Displeaser.
Bow down, peasants, you know?
Powerful.
So power, exploring power and rebellion and rage and all this grief that was underneath that. And
And
what a
then-
juicy, delicious thing to be able to do, you know?
You found some joy in the exploration of those parts of yourself. Because I think I've experienced that too. Like, I know exactly what you mean. There's like something that can feel like indulgent almost in those states of mind. And so if you're doing it as like part of like your work, you know, like an art project, to have a reason to go in there.
Yes.
That's
it's
cool.
cathartic.
Yeah, exactly.
And it doesn't feel dangerous. There's a nice, strong container.
No judgment. It's okay to feel this way.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
there's beautiful language to put to it. And these are the gifts of acting, you know? When
Yeah,
you
getting to
really
feel that.
get to take it back from this rat race thing of like trying to be the next so-and-so or get the award for the thing or whatever. And you get to take it back into this like spiritual and energetic exploration. You realize how blessed we are to be able to do this work.
Yeah.
It's a cool way to live.
It's a really unique craft, and the space, the container it sets up for you when you are playing a fictional or even real, but playing a character in a project, the badder you are, the better you're serving the higher good, which is the, you know, depth and fullness of the project. The better this project is, the better it is for the world. Yeah. And so if you are playing a villain, the better villain you are, the more villainous you are, the more good you're technically doing. Right? It is like a transmutation.
I love playing the villain.
So do I. And I've only been granted a couple opportunities. One in particular, you've seen it, actually, the short film, Why We Fight.
Yeah.
Where I interrogate someone. I pretend to be this terrorist. Very normal for them to cast that. But it was an interesting short because it was sort of trying to give the perspective of people who become terrorists because of an early trauma by the government of the opposing nation. So in this story, Why We Fight, the U.S. bombed this country. This person was a child, witnessed his dad in the explosion die along with 1,000 other people, grew up to resent the country that bombed his. And so then he becomes a terrorist. The spin in the story is that he's actually also part of the CIA, and it's like them interrogating this woman and seeing if she would break or not as part of her final like test to become an agent. But I got to play this like darker, scarier energy. And even as I look back on it, because it was my first chance to do that, I look back, I'm like, God, I could have done it more. And I held back a little bit because it was just my first time. But I am still proud of it and happy of it. But I've always felt in my bones, given this idea that the worse you are, the better it is for the grand whole.
Yeah.
That's
I am so drawn to playing the darker, scarier characters. I've always been drawn to that. I feel it is in my bones, in my destiny to play those roles and to be. I literally think. I remember when I first started acting, I was like, I'm gonna play romantic because I love love, and I was such a romance.
So handsome.
I love love.
They're gonna cast me in all the rom-coms.
I was like ready to play roms, like, but I loved like romances like In the Mood for Love and Chungking Express and The Notebook, like the more dramatic ones.
Sure.
Yeah.
And And then I thought I would play an action hero. I was like, I'll be a superhero or something. I think I'll be a superhero. I'd be real good at that. And then after I do those two, I will finally rest my laurels and finish my career playing these like really intense villains. And those
you had
will
it all
probably-
mapped out like that, huh?
Well, it wasn't that I had it mapped out. It was a feeling. I remember like when I first started acting, within the first couple months, I was like, I feel like I'm going to play this, this, and that. Because it was when you first start acting, they ask you questions like, you need to get to know yourself. What do you come off as to people? Ask people around you, hey, what kind of roles do you think I would play? Hey, what kind of roles do you think I would play? And you're supposed to come to a...
That's a good exercise.
Yeah, you start to come to an understanding of how you present and what people...
Right.
But I never, I never did that exercise. I just sort of like felt like, I think
You knew the
I would
answers.
be really good for those.
When I met you and found out you were on Ahsoka, I was surprised when I found out you were a Jedi.
I remember that.
Interesting, because you thought he would be on the dark side.
villain, yeah.
Interesting.
I remember
A naughty bee, dude. A
I
naughty
said,
boy.
Yeah.
we're friends. You and me, we're friends. You thought I played a villain?
We're buddies.
And I was like, all right.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? In the line in the song "We're All In Together," Iman has a line where he says, "Everyone knows money follows the villain."
And where you at?
Yeah, where you at?
That is interesting because in that song, Where You At, you perform this prayer at the beginning.
right.
Okay, that's the one where I do the prayer.
That's the one where you do the prayer.
Have we explained for the audience what we're like that I was like a feature on a couple of your songs as
So-
Dragon Wolf?
So
I did a
Elizabeth-
couple tracks for Dragon Wolf, guys.
This
A
is true.
couple tracks.
Yeah, a couple.
She's,
No?
yes. The original reason I wanted to collaborate with her is we had these conversations about spirituality and the alignment of our lives and things that were, blossoming.
Yeah.
And she had mentioned, which we listened to, by the way, the song you were asked to sing, and you were
my
incredible in this
gosh.
song.
That song was
I forget what it's
amazing.
called. It was called
What song?
The end credits.
Oh, for Primos?
For Primos.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my song. That's me. That's a solo.
No, we were like, okay, so she's in this band. It seems like, okay, let's play. And then it was you the whole time. We were like, dude, it's just her.
Yeah,
Have you recorded music outside?
It's an animated series that's a musical.
That's right.
Got
Yeah.
you.
That's
got
right.
you.
And I was so blessed to be given the end titles to sing.
And you nailed it.
No, it's like
You-
talking about
And there was
versatility.
another.
We didn't even
Thank
touch
you.
that. Like he's like a world class singer too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you. But that was another experience that was rich with winks and synchronicity. And sometimes they're really subtle,
Yeah.
The big
Yeah.
ones are the Book of Ezra.
Big ones are big.
Right in your face.
But sometimes it's just a little feeling and you're like, that meant something to me.
Yes.
I know that meant something to me.
I know that was
yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
I know that was the cosmic wink for me.
Yeah.
And so we love that song, by the way. We were like, okay, let's listen. And we
It's a
jammed
bop,
it.
isn't it?
It's such
They
a
did
mood
such a good
elevator. We were
job.
like, oh, this is beautiful. This is so in line with
yeah.
like we have a different song called Midnight Crew. We were like, this is like Midnight Crew for an animated show in a way.
Yeah,
Like this is
yeah,
like we're on the same
exactly.
wavelength.
Same vibe.
But so you had told me about that experience of singing this song and being asked to sing this, and you were like, yeah, I'm being asked to use my voice more.
Oh, right. We
like,
talked about that.
It's interesting you say that because I have this song called Looking Back. It's the one that's like looking back at all the nights, and it's about, reminiscing on the journey, on how I landed where I am and what things I adopted and the practices, sort of in this spooky way. But there's this like ethereal female voice
Yeah.
that is saying like, oh, are you surprised that this happened? Like, what about,
Oh,
so
right.
now that it's happened,
Gotcha.
what do you say now? Like, what do you feel now? Where are you now that it all played out the way you saw it
Yeah.
in many ways? And
What's the answer to that question, by the way?
what do you say now?
Like, what? Yeah. Where are you now?
What do I say now?
Because it is
It is
true. It all played out.
I think it elucidated a new part of my purpose. It all playing out the way it did. It was like I was an explorer, an adventurer on this journey, on this hero's journey. And then it all revealed itself and crystallized and the path unfolded and I walked it in confidence and in love. And then I'm on the other side of the path and there is complete documentation in so many different ways of the path as it's been laid out. And I look back on it, I'm like, okay, I feel like now part of it is telling the story of the stories. Like I'm supposed to share that.
Yeah.
There's a reason, because I have always been someone who, if I discover something and it helps, I'm like, and someone says like, oh yeah, I've got low back pain. I'm like, have you tried this exercise or this exercise or this exercise? Because I had low back pain and this didn't work, but this one did. It's like, no, I haven't. Okay, I'll send you a video. I'll show you how to do it. It's in my nature for some reason to just like pass it along.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this helped me. Maybe it'll help you.
Yeah.
And so I think what I would say now, which is really what happens in the song too, is like apply the principles that you discover in your own journey that work, that help you keep your fire, that help you find alignment, that help you stay on the vibrational path. And it'll unfold in ways that you could never imagine. It'll unfold in ways that are so fulfilling and so powerful. And that's really what I would say. And it's sort of said in the song. And that was how the idea first came to me when I was speaking to you. I was like, oh, her voice, I can already hear it on the song, but I don't know her yet. And I don't know if I could ask her that. I'll put that away. I'll just, be here. And then we just got to know each other a ton. We kept talking and vibing. And then I was like, okay, I have to ask her. Like I have to ask her because it's so aligned and perfect. And so you do that ethereal voice. And at the end, you even mention like, wake up, you're dreaming. Like you do this whole, and then there's a snap of the fingers we added. I just heard it the other day getting ready for this episode and was like, oh
nice.
my God, it was so perfect. I don't know when I'll put it out actually. There's been an interesting process occurring for me musically and what I'm releasing and when. But the other song that once we worked together, I was like, wait, maybe she can add to this, is a song Journey and I did called Where You At? And it is one of the first songs that I sort of take on the role of the villain in. And I'm sort of like, yeah, unapologetically, I'm going to dive into, this is it. Sure, you want to make me out to be the villain? Fine. Here's how I feel if that's the categorization. And you at the beginning freestyled off this prayer, which is like, forgive, thank you,
the
Father,
Lord's
for
Prayer.
the Lord's Prayer.
Yeah, it's like a really cool rendition, like cover of the Lord's Prayer.
It was fascinating because you're mentioning, I don't know it off the top of my heart. Do you know it off the top of your heart?
Yes, of course I do. But let me just think
The
of
Lord's
it.
Prayer.
Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come
Thy will be done
on earth as it is in heaven.
as above. Is that right?
Give us this day our daily bread.
Give us this day our daily bread.
And forgive us
us
our
our
trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Deliver us, dear Lord, from every evil, and grant us peace in our day. For yours is the kingdom, the power, and the glory of heaven, now and forever. Amen.
Amen.
I say that prayer all the time. And I say it like that,
Yeah.
which is sort of unlike how it's often said.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's so meaningful. And if you break it down, it has everything in it.
It does. It
Yeah.
covers all of it.
Your bases
covers all
are
of it.
covered.
It really covers it all. Like, okay, that's the prayer to say.
Yeah, abundance, the relational field, all your relationships, it's all covered.
Forgiving those who do wrong
Forgiveness,
against
yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, like not holding
Forgiveness.
that with you.
Yeah.
Right. So you use that prayer at the beginning of this song, and it is really, and it ended up becoming, because this is the first song in the EP I have, 333.
Oh yeah.
It ended up becoming like an introduction or ceremony opening of the EP, and like what I dive into with that EP, and it is like, okay, let's start it off with a prayer. It's very perfect and beautiful, and I'm so grateful you lent your voice to that.
So grateful, because there's like this. It's like an interesting instrumental where there's like this big blank spot in the beginning.
Huge blank spot.
that
We didn't know
doesn't
what to
nec-
do with that blank spot.
Doesn't necessarily
It was
lend
perfect.
itself to like rapping or like singing. It's because it's kind of like beatless, you
Yeah.
know. So like,
Yeah.
wait, what goes there? And like, it was
Yeah.
the perfect thing. Like, when Iman showed it to me for the first time, I think I dropped to the floor. I was like, oh my fucking God.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Because I
So stoked, because the song was like, we both liked our verses so much, and it just felt like it was missing something, like a final touch or a ribbon to put on it, and you were that, and it was just like, okay, song's done.
Yeah, you were that.
yeah.
Dude, did we do that just the episode before?
Dude.
Is the episode right before this the one where we performed that? Right?
Oh, you guys had musical performances
maybe
too
was that?
on the
I think you're
podcast?
right.
We did that song.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
We
we
did
did.
that song, actually. It's the
Yeah.
one musical.
Mead was the last one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, me. For some reason in my head,
I love you,
felt like
brother.
we were forgetting something.
But yeah, that's the song we perform on the podcast. And
Yeah, how cool is that? That now we
Can't wait to
have.
see that.
Actually, you know what? I think there's like in the beginning when we're recording it, I ask you, I'm like, oh yeah, are we gonna get Elizabeth on?
Right.
It was like we didn't
was
know
in the air
yet.
still.
And then now cut to this. You're here. Thank you so
cut to
much.
this, you're here.
Thank you
I'm
so
so
much for
happy to
coming
be
on.
here. I think there's so many layers of synchronicity and alignment that we're not even fully aware of.
Yeah.
Including me being on that song and
Right.
me just happening to improvise this prayer that I use all the time and using my voice in that
Yeah.
way, I think is really meaningful for me in many ways. And doing the podcast and, you know, sharing more of myself publicly. And it's just all beautiful, guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for being here. It is like such an
Yeah.
honor. We often talk about the energy of the podcast and what it attracts, who it attracts, and when we were thinking of guests, I really was just hopeful that the timing and I almost had a knowing, like, I know if she could watch an episode, she would immediately want to do it. I think she would love this energy.
Yeah.
But we didn't have episodes out yet. You know,
Yeah.
it was like it was like, I can't.
I was like, what is
how
it?
can I perfectly
Trust
you know,
us.
how can I? Yeah,
Love
like
it.
how can I
I was like,
really?
I trust you, man, but what is it?
Totally. And I felt that. Like I felt like I want to give her more, but we don't have that much more to give yet. Until the episode comes out, or till the stuff starts to roll out. But I remember thinking she would fit right in. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
the chair is hers. Like she would love this.
This has been amazing.
Yeah.
And I hope that, you know, your fans and people listen to it and love it. And everybody listening, blessings to you. May you be well. May you walk the path of your own vibration and highest good. God bless you. And the same for the two of you. Lovely human beings. Blessings.
And blessings all back to you. Thank you
Blessings
so
to
much,
you.
Elizabeth. I think that's a great note to end on. Keepers, thank you so much for tuning in
Thank you for joining
and
us.
hearing so much from the heart and soul of the wonderful Elizabeth Grullón. As you can see, a talented actress, singer, writer, go-getter, and goddess.
Wonderful
And now-
human being.
And mother to be. Well, mother now, technically.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, baby's here.
you know,
Hi, baby.
thank you guys so much for tuning in. I am Imanis Fondi,
I'm Journey Bailey.
and this is Keepers of the Fire.
Thank you.
Good
Thank
night,
you.
everyone.
Elizabeth, you're a knockout.
Thank you.
are a knockout.